Hi, chat. How are you guys doing tonight? Funny to see you here. Yeah, we got some information to cover. We got some information to cover in the RQ. There have been some updates. So let's get started in that. If you are new here, my name's Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am a defense attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and today we're going to talk about a defense attorney related topic. So welcome, everybody. Meet Pilla says, my mom made you cookies. Well, as long as I have raisins in them, I'm good. So Kimbo's saying, I'm crazy for that thumbnail. I thought that was pretty tasteful. There's a million ways I could have done that. That could have been 100 times worse. I don't understand why it was such a problem. And Kurt on civil law. Kurt, how you doing? I know Kurt looked at this earlier. He's saying, I mean, this motion did make me laugh out loud at the pure stupid of it all. Well, it did for me a little bit. It did for me just a little bit. I mean, there's some parts in it where I think we're stretching credulity just a hair. Just a hair. So, yes. Be right back, Sheetrock Max. Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about the sheetrock part. We're going to talk about the sheetrock part. That is great. I really do have some questions about how that all worked out. Why is this? The cable keeps curling that up there. Yes. So, all right, guys. So we are going to get started here. Wow, 400 people here. All right, we're going to get going. So some updates from today. Nick had his settlement conference, and they're going to have another one. So that's all we learned today. And it sounds like they're still negotiating, which that happens. Now, some of you, I know some people on Twitter, and I can't be on Twitter right now because I'm in timeout. We're saying, well, how come we didn't get to hear what they're talking about? The plea negotiations, the plea discussions are never going to be in public like that, where if they're doing actual horse trading, like, no, I don't need the whole world sitting in there listening to how I'm doing business for my client. That's actually not uncommon. I'll go the prosecutor. Sometimes you're in a courtroom and you're the only people in there, and then you walk out, your client's in a conference room, go talk to them and come back. There's a million different ways to do it, but you're not, the idea that, Nick and his attorney were going to sit there at a table and the prosecutor is going to sit there at a table and they're just going to start talking out loud in front of the whole courtroom. That's not going to happen that way. That's not going to happen. If you guys thought that was going to happen, I apologize that I didn't make that clear. It wasn't going to happen that way or dissuade your notions. It never happens that way. Now, they might memorialize an agreement on the record. It doesn't sound like that happened this time. But it does sound like there were some issues about reaching the agreement. Now, that's not uncommon. And, this isn't it's not a murder trial. So there is no murder trial. There's nothing rolling along here that has to happen. I don't know technically, and I didn't see this before, if Nick had waived his right to a speedy trial yet, but he's not run out of that time yet. I mean, this started in May. So I forget if he did or not. I'm trying to remember the top of my head because I don't think there was an actual explicit written waiver hanging out there. But maybe he did waive it by some of the stuff that's been going on. So he has time still to resolve this before. He did waive a speedy trial. Okay, good. I kind of forget if he did. Anyway, that allows them to work on this. So we'll see what happens. Now, I have a feeling for Nick. He wants to come back. I doubt the deals are going to get any better. So he did waive it. Thank you, Mainsley. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I guess, I don't know what they think is going to happen. You come back in December, is it going to get any better? I doubt it. I can't see what's going to change. What will change in the current situation that will make things better for Nick now or then than it will now? And I don't see what that is. I mean, unless he's trying to hold out that this suppression motion that Kayla filed through her attorney, is that going to work? Maybe that's what he's holding out for. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't see what he thinks is going to save him today, but he wants to go for it. So they're going to come back. Nico's saying better, nothing worse. Charges from Sturgis County, sure, those still might happen. But in the meantime, we've only got the one case, and that's it. So we'll see. We'll see. He's buying time to shitpost. Well, here's the thing, guys. He's not going to lose the ability to be on the internet in this case. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. I wouldn't worry about it at all. And then nice podcast, stupid, says for $2. Thank you for being here, by the way. Says, who else can't wait for the Tor SWAT's client list to get released? Oh boy. Oh boy, yes. If you guys don't know, the group known as Tor SWAT's they went after everybody. Tim Pool, Mr. Medicare, it sounds like Nick. It sounds like Jeremy from the quartering. It sounds like they went after everybody, which those are kind of not cool. But then they went after a bunch of politicians, which is kind of based. Then they went after a bunch of federal law enforcement officials, which is super based. But yes, they got caught swatting the shit out of everybody, and they got wrapped up because they got a little greedy there. So what's going to happen going forward? Fuentes hired him to SWAT Medicare. Yeah. And then there's also, and as a nice podcast brings up, there's a gentleman in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who is a pepperoni aficionado, if you would call it that. And also a writer of sci-fi books. But I consider him a pepperoni maker first. There's some allegations surrounding him and all the times he got swatted, and were those flags of a questionable banner? Maybe. We don't know yet. We'll find out. No, Sleazy. I saw your super chat. I just haven't got to it yet. We'll get to these real quick. Sleazy said, did the ceiling cats use a drywall saw to make the drywall dust? Is there a video of them making the dust? Does that video have a watermark? Catherine K is a new member. Thank you, Catherine, for the support. And then Volo Ludo for $5 says, Nick thinks that he's a Joker. He just wants to watch the world burn. Yeah. And then Blaze says, what are the hemp dog treats? These things right here. You get them on Amazon. Dogs like Clyde and Laney fucking love these things. Chill them the fuck out. I don't get paid for that, but like this stuff is good. And it's hemp, so you can't really like overdose them on it. But it will chill them out pretty well. So, all right, guys, it's time to go. We got a lot of people here. You guys don't want to hear me talk about boring shit, so let's go. All right. So yesterday, Kayla was due to have filed her motion to suppress. Previously, her attorney had filed just kind of like a bare bones notice they were going to do it. Now she finally filed a memorandum in support. And here it goes. And ultimately, is this better in quality than the ones Nick and his attorneys did? Yes. Are there still a lot of problems with this? Yes. Is this still going to crash and burn? Yes. So, I mean, I'm just telling you that's where it is. I'm just telling you that's where it is, chat. You know, you can think what you think, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be anything important going forward. But anyway, here we go. So this was filed today. It was filed yesterday, but it got docketed today. So you can see it got filed at 11:25. And that's the neat thing. Once again, guys, I think we brought this up before with the electronic filing. Typically, you are allowed to file all the way up until midnight of that day. So even 8 p.m. on that day still counts as filed by that day. If you don't have e-filing, you're stuck with wherever you're at as, you know, by the close of business. Or if you mail it out, that's the only other way you get around that is by the end of the postal day. So it's the state of Minnesota versus Kayla Rekieta. It's the memorandum in support of their motion to suppress. Now, where are we going from here? So this matter came before the court for the contested omnibus hearing on October 28th. And they talk about the people there. No testimony was offered at the hearing. The state offered the application for the search warrant receipt, inventory, and return without objection by the defense. And you kind of have to because those are the things they're going to argue over. Now, the facts, they're giving us a straight facts, chat, the straight dope. No bullshitting here. Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. So on May 22nd, Deputy Quinn Pomplin and me because he couldn't plant that cocaine by himself. I'm just saying. They applied for and obtained a search warrant to search the defendant, Kayla Rekieta's home in Kaneohe County, which she shares with her husband, Nick Rekieta, and their 5 children. Now, remember, that's important because Kayla has to have standing, and it's the owner of the house. I'm allowed to challenge the search warrant because I have standing. Notice April didn't challenge it like that. She challenged the probable cause of the charges against her. Because if April's going to claim I have a property interest and some interest in that home, she could get smacked with the rest of the cocaine charges. So there's a plus and a minus about being able to challenge the suppression itself. So in addition, the warrant granted the sheriff's office the ability to search the next person. And that's true. So the allegations contained were as follows. An unidentified reporter, which in the report, in the application, we go back to the application here, and this is what Detective Pomplin put together for the search warrant. This is his affidavit here. Now, going back to it, what do we see here? We see the allegations, and he received a report regarding child neglect and controlled substance abuse, and that came from Sergeant Nestor received it. Okay, the reporter indicated that Nick and Kayla were there. The reporter indicated that 4 people from their church had gone to him reporting neglect to the children, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple. Yeah, so the reporter indicated it. All right. The reporter did indicate it. Now we're going to keep going. I see some of the comments chat. I'm not answering some of those. That's funny, though. You guys crack me up. All right. So the following rumors. You heard rumors. Is it a rumor? Is it really a rumor if somebody says, I saw something? That's not a rumor. People came to him and relayed to him information. Now, this first one here, this is kind of like, I don't know why you'd put this in here like this because you break it up down below. So you're repeating it as like just one big blob. I don't get the point of that. But, there were questions about neglect of the children, possible drug use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple, April and Aaron, a married couple. So like I said, you can kind of get rid of this because you get, this just seems like you could have broken that up and made it a little more of a, could have made it a little better. You could have made it a little better. So the Imholtz may have been staying with the Rekietas. Yep. The home was in disarray and cluttered. Okay. The children were hungry, not fed, and wearing clothes multiple days in a row and started smelling. Okay. Now, is that a rumor or is that what the pastor, because we know it's their head pastor who ended up telling the police? While she says in the application, yeah, it's unidentified, we know who it is because if you go to the supplemental reports, and I apologize, guys, this one's kind of dog shit quality copy, but that's all we got. Sergeant Nestor. There we go. Sergeant Nestor received a mandatory report, and his name was Kevin Mellon, who is the pastor with the Evangelical Covenant Church in the city of New London. He's the pastor for the church Nick and Kayla go to. So we do know who it is. And so it's not as though it's just, there was a call that, Detective Pomplin sitting there and goes, hey, listen, the Rekieta house, there's all kinds of shit going on, man. It wasn't like that. Now, that's the way this is being done, it really gives that vibe. It gives that vibe. That Nick was appearing lethargic and high or drugged while driving a car around. Once again, those are not rumors. Those are observations. He was probably driving all over the fucking place. I'm sure he wasn't driving like a normal person. Nick would walk out of sermons randomly and would exhibit behavioral changes. Yeah. Once again, is that a rumor or is that an observation that was reported to him? Kayla looks anorexic and Nick has recently lost weight. And Nick has injection or track marks on his arms. Once again, are those rumors or is that observations? They're observations. They're not rumors. So it's not a rumor. He's saying other people saw something and they're telling me. That's not a rumor. I mean, think about it. If your neighbor comes up to you and says, hey, did you see the fire truck going on the road? Is that a rumor? Is that really a rumor? No, it wouldn't be a rumor. It's like, my neighbor had an observation. My neighbor saw something. Now, you might say my neighbor's a fucking idiot and he doesn't understand what he's seeing. Sure. Or you might believe him. Say, okay, fire truck went down the road. But you wouldn't sit there and go, well, that's a rumor. It's not a fucking rumor. That's not a rumor. Oh my God. Yes, it's not a rumor. So the application, and we're going to keep moving here, chat. The application was silent on whether the unidentified person was known to law enforcement. Okay, they don't have to be. I mean, if we're really going to go down this road of it being a completely anonymous source, there are standards for that. How specific are they? What are they identifying? Can they identify, not just saying like, hey, there's going to be a drug deal at the Walmart. No, hey, there's going to be a drug deal at the Walmart. The car with the drugs in it's going to be a red Chevy Caprice. The car that's buying is going to be in a blue Suburban. They're going to meet over in the northeast corner at 9:00 tonight. Well, there's specificity. The more anonymous and vague someone is, you're going to be able to do it. Now, here's the thing. Even if she gets the suppression hearing, what's Detective Palm going to say? Yeah, Detective Nestor said it was from the pastor. Or they'll bring in Detective Nestor. Yeah, or Sergeant Nestor. Yeah, I spoke to the pastor of the church. And then I gave it to Detective Pomplin. Boom. Like, you are not going to win this, because if you really want to go to trial on this or have the hearing on this, you're going to get blown out of the water. The application was silent on whether the unidentified reporter was a reliable source. There's generally a presumption people are reliable unless you have reason to believe they're not reliable in this type of situation. There's no indication this is a CI where if you prove they're a snitch, you got to show, look, I've used Snitch 142 before. They've been reliable. They've been using them for 2 years now. He's been reliable multiple times in the things he's provided us. You might have to do that in these situations. But here, why do you have reason to believe they're not reliable? The application was silent on the source of the information that Nick and Kayla are friends with April and Aaron. Yeah, I don't. That's actually kind of clear here. That this is not at all a problem. Because if you go to Detective Pomplin's search warrant affidavit, it's kind of obvious he's pointing out from his own information. Because he talks about all of Aaron's, while reviewing Aaron's media blogs, throughout Aaron's media blogs, it is apparent that they, the Imholtz and the Rekietas, were friends, and they may have had a recent falling out. There's your answer. It was silent on the source. I mean, here's the source. While he was reviewing the goddamn blogs, here's your source, bro. You're like, but there's no indication he knows that. There's 100% fucking indication he knows that. There's 100% indication he knows that. He observed it. He was able to discern it looks like they were friends, and now they're not longer friends. This isn't fucking hard. This isn't fucking hard. Detective Pomplin indicated that we're missing that he was personally familiar with the Aaron Imholtz social media presence. Yes, chat, the Aaron Imholtz, not to be confused with the other Aaron Imholtz running around doing social media. Yes, once again, he's very familiar with it because he reviewed Aaron's shit. It's not like he's a fan of Aaron, but he went and learned about Aaron's name, and he learned about Still Till Morning Show. Guess what he did? Fucking went on YouTube and went, ta-da! There. Oh, wow. Here's the guy talking. Wow, he's always asking people for money. Like, I'm sure that's in his notes. Like, holy shit, he asks for money all the time. Like, but let's be real. Like, it's very fucking obvious how he figured this out. This is not a point of like mysterious contention. The application was silent on a source of information that Nick is a social media blogger. Like, seriously. It's reported that Nick is a social media blogger. Presumably, that came from the fucking unidentified person. I mean, like, are you like you're this is not how you win a search warrant. You're not going to get to go, you don't know. Oh, case dismissed. Woohoo. Like, no, it doesn't work that way, guys. The search warrant was silent on the source of information that Nick is known to drink alcohol excessively during the blogs. Yeah, once again, that's not really an issue here. I mean, Nick is known to drink alcoholic beverages excessively on blogs. Your affiant started to review the Rekietas and enabled social media blogs. It's right there. It's right there. Your affiant, like les yeux, use les yeux. Like, it's right fucking there, Helen. Helen, water. We go back to here. It's like, I just don't know boss. I just don't know how Detective Pomplin, that policeman, know about all this stuff. It don't make no sense. Because then the next part here, Detective Pomplin viewed blogs created by Nick and Aaron. Like, why the fuck would you say all this and then go, well, he ended up reviewing blogs, like, and then you go through all this here and it doesn't work. It doesn't make it. Why are you fucking doing this? Why are you fucking doing this? Why are you fucking doing it this way? This is just fucking wasted space right now. Like, I get it if this is a college paper and you had to, like, the assignment is like, oh, it's 8 pages long, I'd better put shit in there. Okay, but brevity is the soul of wit. Like, brevity is the soul of wit. Yeah, this is just, I'm doing the Hawk Tuah girl voice, not trying to be. That was not a Hawk Tuah girl voice. That's John Coffey or somebody on the plantation. Yes, boss. So we're going to keep going here. That, there were following observations, Nick's appearance from January to May, including that he appeared to have lost weight, appeared tired, and appeared strung out, consistent with controlled substance users. That's because that's what they look like. Nick's studio was in the basement of his residence. Yes. And he did that to show Nick couldn't claim, oh, how do you know that wasn't a green screen? He did that to show he has reliability because we've been in the house when Nick got swatted. Once again, tying back into tour swats. They said they had to search the house. So they know, hey, we're familiar with the layout of the house. We've been down there. I know what that room looks like. That's the room. I know that's a real room. I know that's not a CGI bullshit. Aaron indicated he was getting a divorce. Aaron indicated he had done drugs. Yeah. The videos made it apparent they were friends who recently had a falling out. Which, once again, you're pointing this out. Now you're asking, there's so many unanswered questions here. It's like, it's so fucking dumb the way this is phrased. In Aaron's videos, April appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out. She did. Nick and Aaron appear in the same room during videos. Yep. Aaron published a video insinuating that Nick was using drugs. Yep. That Nick needs to get help for his kids because of the substance use. And there was a video where Nick had a white powdery substance on his nose. Yes. And it's funny because this right here, this is like the part that Nick and the Barneswalker couldn't fucking get through their skulls. This is the part that Nick couldn't figure out. Well, or they're just too retarded or obtuse to figure out. Kayla's attorney is like, just like she kind of fucking like dogged him right there. Yes. Aaron pointed out there was a white powdery substance on his nose, and guess what Detective Pomplin did? From that short clip from Aaron, he went back and found a video of Nick. You know, the whole obfuscation and the little, like, we're just retards, we can't understand this game. Nick and White played. Yeah, this is actually right on. This is very well done. Yes, but my watermarks. Yes, I know the watermarks. And David, yes, David from Making Law Simple says this is a good sound motion. Well, I mean, does a turd dropping into a toilet that makes a sound? Yes. You know, I'm just saying. Nick put a video blog online that showed him drinking what appeared to be alcoholic beverages, in which he appeared to be under the influence. During the video, Nick leaves to use the bathroom and returns with a white powdery substance under his nose. The deputy believed Nick was under the influence of a central nervous system stimulant. The deputy believed Nick ingested a substance through his nasal cavity off screen. Yes. During the video, Nick appears to struggle to read the screen and rambles in his speech. There is no indication contained in the application for search warrant as to what time of the day the video was created, whether the children were under Nicholas's care or if there were any other adults in the home caring for the children at the time the video was created. I don't know Minnesota law that well, but I don't think it matters that there was an ounce of fucking coke in your house and that somebody else was caring for the kids. I don't think that's going to get you out of this, out of the child neglect issues. And even if they were, everybody's fucking asleep. Well, the only other person up was April, and, you know, she was too busy being the corner demon. So the kids were not being supervised. The kid, you know, who was protecting the kids? I mean, we already know one of them tested for something positive. So, you know, the magic metabolites that metabolize outside the body. Deputy Pomplin alleges Nick has been a victim of swatting. Yup. And the head note here is the Department of Homeland Security defines swatting as making malicious hoax calls to emergency services to report an ongoing emergency, such as a violent crime or an explosive device at a location. And yeah, that is swatting. So, and that sheriff's office has responded to the swatting calls. They have. Detective Pomplin misstates his qualifications as a DRE, drug recognition expert, not, you know, still DRE. And that he claims to have training and experience in making evaluations of individuals with whom he has only viewed in video productions and not personally interacted. I haven't been through the DRE training, but this is just something like they're not going to just bring in people and let them start snorting crank and shooting up heroin. They're going to use video. They're going to use pictures. Here's what somebody's peoples look like when they're on meth. Here's what somebody's peoples looks like when they're on heroin. You know, you're going to learn through aids and study material. Like, there are multiple ways they could do this, and I don't think you realize you are just river dancing all over your dick at this point. But, you know, you keep doing on with your bad self. I'm just arguing. You know, I'm just saying here. I'm just saying. I mean, but what do I know? What do I know? Yes, the Nibbas and Wilmar. That's what this is. Some rando says, I like to volunteer for those studies. Well, yes, it's like training day. To be a good narcotics officer, you must learn to love narcotics. All right. So anyway, we go through the Minnesota Fourth Amendment here. The Fourth Amendment protects us against unreasonable search and seizures. So does the Minnesota Constitution. And then they go down here to talking about Illinois v. Gates. Remember, guys, Illinois v. Gates is the federal standard for search warrants. It is also the majority rule for the United States. So probable cause requires only a probability or substantial chance of criminal activity, not an actual showing of activity. Now, there is a separate test out there, but it's only used in a majority of, or very small minority of states. In fact, there's only 6 states that have this. The predecessor to Gates. That's Alaska, Hawaii, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, and Washington. 6 states. And that's the Aguilar-Spinelli test. And if you guys don't even through law school or criminal procedure, for whatever criminal justice. Like you might have heard about the Aguilar-Spinelli test. So, it was the previous test. And we're going to see this here because they end up quoting Aguilar down here, Aguilar v. Texas, which is really funny because, Aguilar is not recognized in your state as good law anymore. It's Gates. But, what do I know? So anyways, they get to the task of the issuing judge charged with determining probable cause is to simply make a practical, common sense decision whether given all the circumstances set forth in the affidavit before him, including the veracity and basis of knowledge of persons supplying the hearsay information. Because remember, everything in a search warrant application is hearsay. Short of, the cop saying, I actually watched them take drugs into the house. Almost all the time, you're going to find hearsay. And that's okay to have in a warrant because otherwise, how would you actually be able to do an investigation, at least to get started? And we talked about this before, chat. Remember, probable cause is a very low threshold. If you want to think of beyond a reasonable doubt as 90% sure. From there you have preponderance of the evidence. That's 51% sure. That's the civil trial standard. 51% sure. Just got to tip the scale. And then from there, think of 20, 25% sure is probable cause. It doesn't take much. And, some people might downgrade it even more, 15%. Probable cause is a very, very, very low threshold. Probable cause is a very low threshold. Just is it probable? You don't have to know for sure because if you knew for sure, that would be different. There's no guarantee you will find what you're going for in a search warrant. And that's part of the reason I've heard people on the farms and other places talk about it. Well, they found stuff, so that justifies it. No, it doesn't, because you can't justify it on the results. I mean, if that was how you're going to do it, let's say the police raid the house and they find no drugs. Doesn't that mean the warrant was illegal automatically? No. Does that make you really question what the fuck happened? Sure. But the idea would automatically be invalid because you didn't find what you were looking for. Well, that would be not necessarily the proper standard either. The bad guys might have gotten word and moved stuff or, out-of-date information. Who knows? So that's why you have to be careful when you think about those things. And it goes down to there's a fair probability that contraband or evidence of a crime will be found in that place. It's a fair probability. It doesn't have to be, you're not so damn sure. You're not buying a house, sure. And that's what reasonable doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt is. You're damn sure. You're about as sure as you can get. So the affidavit must be sufficiently detailed in all the evidence that supports, and here's the thing, you don't have to include all the evidence. You include some of the evidence. Now, in Nick's case, there isn't a lot of evidence. They have a couple of things here, but basic drug possession is not a super involved case normally. So you guys don't worry about that argument there. But the idea I have to include all my evidence in a search warrant, there's no requirement you have to do that. You don't have to include all. You don't have to include all. That would be insane. What you're forcing cops to document dump into a search warrant? That would be fucking retarded. That would be retarded. And they say that law enforcement has supports probable cause to believe the item sought or at the location to be searched. And I'm assuming this is some sort of head note or Westlaw note or something that got stuck in there. But yes, with the search warrant, you have to have particularity. What are you looking for? Where do you want to go? And what evidence of a crime do you think you'll find? So you have to have particularity and specificity. So you have to describe with particularity the things to be seized. Affidavits should detail the underlying circumstances that support the belief there's probable cause. Yeah. And we're going to get to that, and Detective Pomplin explains why. And they say recital of some of the underlying circumstances is essential if the court's to perform its detached function. And from reading this earlier, chat, yes, recital of some Some is not all. Some and all are two different things. And that's so the court doesn't serve merely as a rubber stamp for the police. Although, let's be real, the courts basically do function as a rubber stamp for the police. Different topic for a different day. Now, the information reported to law enforcement has no indicia of reliability. According to who? So, information in affidavit can come from various sources, including eyewitness testimony, informants, or surveillance. However, for a warrant to be valid, the source must be reliable. Okay, well, they're not informants, and it's not surveillance. Although you might want to argue some of the stuff when they saw Nick as surveillance, but I think they're getting to the information reported. They're relying on people's eyewitness testimonies because that's what the pastor is saying. My people at my church came to me with eyewitness accounts of what they saw. And here's what they told me. They say if an informant's used, the affidavit must usually demonstrate the informant has previously provided reliable information or that other independent sources corroborate the information. They're not informants. Pastor Mellon is not a fucking informant. He's not a snitch. He's not somebody they have a jacket on where they could say, look, here's all the times Pastor Mellon helped us bust meth dealers. He's not an informant. He's not a confidential source. So that doesn't work here. And I know I kind of touched on this earlier, and sorry, Check. So when I read this earlier, I kind of skipped ahead when I was explaining things. Let's see here. You guys are just talking about drywall. Don't worry. We'll get to the drywall. We'll get to the drywall. We'll get to the drywall, Chad, I promise. They say in our case, the affiant does not even bother to recite the source of much of the information. No mention is made of whether the information was from a reliable or identifiable informant. Here's the thing I think Kayla and her attorney are kind of fucking up here. And this is a big thing. If we go back to the affidavit, okay? The fact that this stuff has been reported, you can here's the neat thing. And we're going to go through this and we're going to black out a bunch of stuff. We're going to black it. It's going to get blacked, chat. Okay? And here we go. We're going to delete. Okay. So we're going to basically, if we removed all this, this stuff here, actually, this is all background information. Because ultimately, the issues are Detective Pomplin went ahead and watched Nick's YouTube videos and watched Aaron's YouTube videos. And then he downloaded one and got a search warrant. There's no warrant required at that point to get any of that information. Okay? There's no warrant at that point. I think you guys would all agree because I'm trying to tell you they don't need a warrant for any of that. So literally you can get rid of all of this. I mean, we can get rid of all of this here. It would be a really confusing warrant, but this is all really background to what happens. We can get rid of all this. Because what do we have? We have Nick on camera snorting fucking coke. Right? That's what we've got. I mean, let's just say it's... Because if you did that, the only problem is the person trying to approve your search warrant's going to say, well, wait, how does the story work? Well, this is where the story really starts. By reviewing the social media blogs. I mean, look, we can get rid of these parts of the warrant. It doesn't change what Detective Pomplin saw. Does it? No, none of that. None of this is illegally obtained information. Because this is not illegally obtained information. It's vague information, but what did that lead him to do? I would argue at this point it led Detective, and I'm just telling you based on the arguments they're going to make in court and that I think are going to work. What did Detective Pomplin do with that information? He began to review Nick's... Oh, God, that's not good. That's too opaque. That's too... Your affiant started to review Nick and Aaron's social media blogs. This is the thing you guys need to think about here. That's not illegal. He doesn't need a search warrant to do that. And I'll play good faith Gary to Kayla's attorney right now. How do you get around this issue? And this is what I would ask her. How do you get around this problem right here? That all this stuff we just blacked out is just basic background information that led them to go do another legal thing they're allowed to do that doesn't require a warrant. Because at that point, it doesn't matter if you can say they're unreliable. Okay, fine. I fired up YouTube and saw Nick on camera, and I saw Aaron. Like, from here, you could start a warrant with all this stuff. From here on down, this is good stuff for a warrant. So that's why I think this is a problem for them at the end of the day. All this stuff we got rid of, okay, cool. It's gone. He started watching the blogs, and Aaron started spurging up about Nick doing coke in the house. And then he goes to look at Nick's stream, and Nick's got, fucking booger sugar on his face. Oh, I'm sorry. Nick doesn't like it when I use terms. Nick had powdered coca leaves on his, the salts from the coca leaves on his face. Starting from here, this is the warrant. It'd be really fucking confusing because you wouldn't know how to go. But you take this back and you go backwards from here and you get rid of it all. Okay, well, now you have this. Now you basically, this is all pretextual. This is all background information, really, I would argue. And you're going to have a tough time arguing it's not. Because if you remove it, he received a tip to review Nick's and Aaron's stuff. Okay. So I start watching it. Oh, God. They're doing fucking coke and they're crazy. That'd be a really thin warrant, but that would still be a warrant. So that's all I'm trying to give Kayla's attorney the benefit of the doubt here, but it's just not going to work. The reported disclosure does not reflect that the anonymous reporter possessed firsthand knowledge of the allegations. But it does. The reporter indicated that 4 people from their church had come to him reporting neglect of the children. It does indicate he does not have firsthand knowledge. He has people coming to him, and now he has a mandatory duty to report. So, yeah, you're kind of right, but for what purpose here? I don't get it. I don't get it here. I don't know how it's going to help you. And Kurt, if you're out there, I don't know if that helped you too at all. And they say more of the information reported was not corroborated by independent facts or verified through further investigation. I mean, if they really wanted to make an argument here, they could say the whole Ojai County Children's Services thing. They could throw that letter in here, but it's like these, they have co-defendants and the attorneys aren't fucking cooperating at all. I don't know. This is just, I don't know, chat. Anyways, we're going to keep going. In addition, the reported information is made even more suspect by the fact that Nicholas, a well-known internet personality, has been the victim of recent swatting activity. Likely initiated by Aaron Immold, who's in a recent falling out with the Rekietas. When was Nick recently swatted? This is where you could do, if you're trying to make that, you're going to have to show that proof now. I mean, that is a big fucking allegation. Where do you have proof for this? Right here. Where do you have proof for this? I mean, yes, Aaron, the hacker known as Aaron Chan. Is that what we're doing now? It's Tor swats by Aaron. Really? Do you think Aaron could hello, swatters, can you guys help me out here and swat a faggot? They've already been doing it to him. So they're we don't need your money, sir. We already take care of it. You're likely initiated by Aaron. Now, I'm not arguing for defamation purposes or anything like that. You're protected through litigation. But you're going to have to show this in court. How do you have any fucking proof of this at all? Any proof. Any proof. Because if you come in there and try to argue this, that Aaron was swatting somebody, you're going to look like a fucking retard. Number one. Number two, you're going to look like a big fucking liar because you are lying. Like, I don't know how the fuck this attorney could come up with this idea on her own, unless fucking Baldo's feeding her information. Now, could that be? Sure. We've learned now from Mr. Medicare and Jeremy from the quartering that the DOJ has reached out to them saying, hey, we took out tour swats. The guy was coming after you. You get a letter with information on it. Did Nick feed Kayla's attorney bullshit? I don't know. But it's like these two attorneys, Nick's attorneys and Kayla's attorneys, they believe what their fucking clients tell them and just go, burp, 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 burp. Like, no, use your fucking head. Why would you just trust your client like this? Well, Aaron was doing the swatting. Okay, when? How? How did he do it? When did he do it? Which days did he do it? You're making real fucking specific allegations. You better be able to fucking prove them. Because otherwise you're going to look like a fucking liar to the court, and then that doesn't help you. Judge, look, you got to believe us. We're not, no, he's going to think you're fucking assholes and retards. Yes, it's toe swat. It's toe swats, chat. That's really what this was. Yes, the hacker known as Aaron Chan. He really is. The toe keeps winning. Another win for the toe. Yeah, Aaron was right. It's he's like Spectre. Oh, Nick was talking about specters too. He's like Spectre. Except there's no C in Spectre for cucking, so I don't know how, I don't know how that would work with Spectre there. I mean, like, how does it work? The special exec. Well, like, actually, it would work. There is a C inspector there. The special executive for cucking. The special executive for cucking, testicular torsion, revenge pornography, and exhibitionism. That's what it is. That was Spectre. They're all in it together, chat. Yes, Mr. Toe for the win. There you go, Alyssa. Clip that one. You want the special executive. I yell when I don't get sandwiches. Yes. So, yeah, it's all coming together, chat. And maybe Nick was right. And they got their little Spectre rings. Like, maybe they were right. So, the facts alleged, and we're going to keep going here, but the facts alleged by the investigating deputy are conclusionary. You mean conclusory? Conclusory, and based on pure speculation. The facts that an internet celebrity may have appeared to have lost weight, but he did. Did he appear tired? Yeah. Yes, he did. And he appeared strung out. Yes. Are conclusory, not factual. This is, once again, it's going to go in front of Judge Wetzel. He's going to see Nick looking like a fucking scarecrow. Yeah. Nick looks like he went to Treblinka. Yes, he does not look healthy. They're conclusory in nature. She got it right here. Why can't she get it right here? Come on. And not factual. Likewise, the allegation that April Imholt appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out are mere statements that fail to recite facts leading to such conclusions. For instance, this is the age of prescription weight loss medications. Essentially, everyone is losing extraordinary amounts of weight in a short period of time. Not everybody. Not everybody. Just putting it out there. Just to, be considerate. Be considerate, Kayla's attorney. Just saying. I have been losing weight, but not a extraordinary amount in a short period of time. Yeah. I'm not butt chugging Ozempic, okay? However, no independent investigation was done in that regard. Okay. Nick also suffers from insomnia, yet no independent investigation was done in that regard. Now, see, this is something I feel like they listened to me there because this is something I would have challenged. Like, did you check to see if Nick was on any prescription medications? He's on Provigil. Can you abuse Provigil? Sure. Is snorting it illegal? No. Could that have been Provigil he was snorting? Sure. But, I feel like somebody finally listened to me. It was Wegovy on his nose. Oh. In addition, the mere fact that Aaron Imholt posted a dubious video blog insinuating Nick was using drugs does not make said blog factual, corroborating evidence. It is at best unreliable hearsay, which they then went and looked at, and guess what? He had shit on his nose. So it did become corroborating. It did become something that could be vouched for. They did. They went off of what Aaron said, and they went, what's on this screen? Oh my God, Nick's got shit on his nose. Aaron was right. However, this is more likely retaliatory due to his falling out with the Rekietas. Okay. However, it's more likely that it's retaliatory due to falling out with the Rekietas. It's a lot of fucking speculation yourself. You're offering your own speculation here. But, you offer conclusory opinions yourself, I guess, but that's different. The investigating deputy does not possess any training or experience in determining drug recognition via video production and is thus not qualified to offer a reliable expert opinion. And this is something I actually wanted to see. Here, and this is the this is the drug recognition expert manual. I had this and I lost it on my hard drive somewhere in my Dropbox. But I forgot to download this earlier. I kept thinking to do it and I never did it. The funny thing is, actually, hold on here. So the argument here is that there's no drug recognition, and here's the drug, and here, chat, this is the drug recognition expert manual from the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA. So it's a 7-day school. Now, we can argue whether or not drug recognition experts are bullshit, because I will say this much. We all could tell that Nick was doing coke, and, but that one was so obvious. And do I think DREs are voodoo and it's all bullshit at the end of the day? Yeah, especially like on an OVI stop or something like that. But look, you do have, there's all kinds of shit in the manual here. There's all kinds of stuff here. We're going to get to the, examination of the eyes. They talk about what you do and how you learn. And what do you do? A preliminary examination, how you do this stuff here. Now, they don't have it here, but they're going to show you examples of why you're doing this, of what's going on and what you're looking at. So they will show you all the stuff you're doing. It's not the argue like here. They're going to show you how to tell. Look, there's ways to check if someone's doing drugs as a drug recognition expert. You can see on the mouth. Like the idea that you can't tell by someone's eyes and how you could tell right there. The idea that it's just, you learn about it, but you don't say, here's an example of that eye. Here's an example of this eye. Here's an example of somebody on camera who tested for this or that. This is all look, you're learning through pictures. You're learning through pictures. And I don't even have, any, if you can look from still pictures, if you can look from a still picture, watching a video would be no different. So I'm just saying here, guys, the idea that oh, look, here we go, purpose of an eye examination. Look, there's an eye. This is, The idea you can't tell here. You're estimating pupil sizes. It's showing you that. Lighting conditions. All this stuff. Like, yes, you do learn how to do this. There's pupil ranges. You are learning how to do this. You learn about meiosis and you learn about mydriasis. About normally large. Like, look, you're learning from pictures, chat. You're learning from pictures. So the idea you couldn't learn from any of this is just, come on now. And I hadn't even looked at this in probably a year or so. Because there aren't too many, I haven't run too many cases with DREs getting involved. Solely as a probable cause issue. But I mean, look at this. There's all kinds of shit you learn by picture. And they have video you learn. And there's a video of what they do and how they look at shit. So the idea that, there's no video for this, I haven't taken the DRE course, but I fucking find that hard to believe. Isn't a video just a bunch of pictures in sequence? Yeah, it is. In fact, a video is just a bunch of pictures lined up. Boom, 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 boom. So, yeah. Now, the expert opinion of the DRE must be discounted as it's only based upon watching an internet video performance. Now, I will give Kayla's attorney credit. She stayed away from the watermark shit or the video was edited or any of that gay nonsense bullshit arguments here. I'm just saying, that's not a problem here. That's not a problem here. Which I'll give her credit for. At least she knew not to make that argument. There's no independent corroboration of any of the conclusions alleged by the deputy. There were no garbage pulls. And yes, the police will do that to observe for drug activity. There's no allegations of any person that there were drugs in the Rekieta home. I mean, except for Aaron. Aaron is a person, is he not? Are we going to say just because he runs Steel Toe Morning Show, Aaron does not count as a man? He's only 3/5 of a man? Is that the argument? Aaron, if you're out there, dude, you're only 3/5 of a man now. Get out in the field. No more sleeping in the big house. You belong to Johnny now. Aaron's working away in Johnny's front yard with a pickaxe, like, go see Miss Slampy's down in Mississippi. And Johnny yells at him, quit singing, get to work. Yes. 3/5 of a man. Yes. Oh. Now the garbage pulls would be important. Moreover, as a DRE, still DRE, the deputy did not perform any testing on the defendant that would confirm his hunch. How do you know that? Because you watch the videos? I mean, they don't have to. They can if they want to. I mean, does that mean by their logic they have to test Nick before they can raid the house? That's not going to work. That doesn't make any, does that make, that makes no sense the way they want to make the argument here. Does not. If the court were to follow the deputy's logic, the deputy could have just as easily justified a search of Al Pacino's office on the set of Scarface. I mean, aside from the fact it's, 40 years in the past, how does this work exactly? Are they like Detective Plum going to watch The Wire and be like, all these niggers in Boston are selling heroin. We better go bust them. Is that really what we're going to do here? No, it wouldn't work that way. The idea it's Al Pacino. It's like on a set of Scarface. Are we? This is her argument of this is all kayfabe. It's all a joke. It's all fake. Ha 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 ha. It's the Milton argument. It's all a bit. It's all a gag. Ha ha. You really believed it. No. So the most disturbing part of the search warrant that was granted in this case was the utter lack of evidence or allegation, credible or otherwise, that there were illegal drugs in the Rekieta home, much less where these drugs were located within the home. Controlled substance use is not illegal in Minnesota. Possession is illegal. Yes, and people who are using drugs generally have more. Like you're making the fucking argument for the state. Yes, we saw him doing drugs and in the process of doing drugs. Therefore, it's not illogical to presume he has more drugs, especially when another guy says they have drugs in the house. You know, there are no allegations contained in the search warrant that recite any firsthand knowledge of illegal substance being present in the home at the time of the application. You don't normally get that. That's not abnormal. That's not a problem. That in itself is not an issue. I mean, sure, you're going to bring it up here, but that alone isn't a fatal defect. That alone is not a fatal defect. That alone is not a fatal defect. Now, we get to the best part here. We don't know the nature of the white powdery substance alleged to be present on Nick Rekieta's nose, nor does the deputy. It's just as possible to have a sheetrock dust. Yeah, because that's it. The Rekieta family. Yeah, that's their family tradition, hanging sheetrock. Like, what did Nick go grab the kids? He's like, gather around, niños. You know, here comes Abuelo Roberto to show you how to hang sheetrock. Orale, I go back to streaming. But you learn how to be sheetrock hanging vatos. Like, no, they're not Mexicans. They don't hang drywall. Do you think Nick could hang drywall with those spindly little chicken arms anyway? No. Like, comes from somebody who has done that before. It's a pain in the fucking dick. It's not fun hanging drywall. It's a pain in the ass. And then you got a mudded tape. You know, like, can you imagine Nick doing any of that? No. So what is he doing? Is he just retarded and, like, taking his nose and rubbing it along drywall panels, going like that? I mean, it is Nick we're dealing with, and he has kind of wet-brained himself. But that's the argument here. It's like, what? You know, like, the little Rekietas are learning how, you know, like, yo, little niños, Rekieta niños, next week, next week your uncle will teach you how to put on roof sheets. You know, wicked. You'll be real essays. Like, is that what's going to happen here? Is that how it works in the Rekieta family house, the homeschooling? You know, you don't need to know no books. Yes, you might as well arrest Al Pacino, yes. Oh. He was using his nose as the mud trowel. Yeah, but how's he cutting the tape? Because I doubt Nick's smart enough to run the tape gun and the mudded tape gun together. You know, the combo thing. So. Oh, hold on here. Did I just see? I'm not pissed. I'm like, this strange credulity. Like, it's hard not to fucking laugh at this point. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just like, this is so fucking retarded. This is so fucking retarded. It doesn't fucking work. It does not fucking work, chat. Yeah, I'm like, he can't even do the dishes and laundry, but sure, he can do drywall. Yeah. Like, how's that going to work? Nick's going to sit there and start fucking trying to smoke the fucking... Well, that would kill him. But yeah, trying to smoke fucking gypsum board. You know. Oh, it's just... You know, we don't know whether Nick was actually consuming alcohol, nor does the deputy. I mean, what does he just act like a fucking retard and drunk all the time? You know, is that the argument you're going with? This is all once again a bit. Well, bravo, fucking Academy Award to Nick, because he phenomenal. I am Sam. That's what we've got here. You know, I am Sam, or even better, it's like on that Good Doctor show. I am a streamer. I am a streamer. I am a streamer. Nick, you sold it. I bought it. I bought it, buddy. I bought it. You were just pretending to be retarded. We can't field test a video. No, but you can trust your eyes. Like, once again, don't believe your fucking lying eyes, chat. This is like the Simpsons with the aliens. They're like, no, there's space dust on this cookbook. Oh, look, there's even more space dust. It's all speculation, conclusory statements, and guesses from people who have no firsthand knowledge of the home. Okay. Nick is an internet personality in the single video, the only credible evidence contained in the application. Nick was engaged in an internet performance. Really, and that's the argument here. They're gonna come in and say it's all a fucking joke, y'all. Oh, guys, it was all a joke. Yeah, let me know how that goes in front of the fucking jury. Ladies and gentlemen, it's kayfabe. It's like wrestling, but gayer. Really gay. Like, oh yeah. Was it all? It's just like, just like Vince McMahon's car exploding and the limo exploding, or when Triple H got Stephanie McMahon all like drunk and drugged up and like married her against her will. You guys, if you remember SmackDown, you remember that plot line. Scott Hall writing the best storylines ever. Yeah, this is all kayfabe, chat. The cocaine getting in the daughter's hair, that was all fake too. That was all fake, chat. It's all fake. The murder shower in the Baldo bunker, that's all fake. They set that up, chat. Making your parents come in and clean the house because it's a Haitian refugee camp. That was all meant to be there, chat. It's all for the lulz. It's just the set. It's a set for the movie we're making. That's all it is. That's it, chat. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. It's all an internet performance. Yeah, the Benoit family was kayfabe as well. I don't understand true comedy, just like the cops at Denny's. Yes, method acting. Oh. Just so fucking, this is, it is a show for likes and hits. The more likes, comments, and hits the performance generates, the more income is generated. He is an actor. Yes, he pretended to be a lawyer. He pretended to be a trad dad. He pretended to be, grounded and have some ideas of modesty and conservatism and, being like an overall decent person. Yeah, it was all an act. I agree. Yes. You have no fucking idea how right you are with that statement. He's an actor. We all know we are not to believe what we see and hear on the internet. That's the argument. Don't believe what you see. It could all be a joke. Yeah, so like when I watch those ISIS guys cutting dudes' heads off, oh, that was all fake. Those guys are fine. Those guys are fine. When Jihad Johnny was sawing a dude's head off with a dull machete. No, that's fake, chat. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all fake. Didn't happen. All right, really? We're going to fucking say that about this? Come on now. Come on now. I mean, if we're going to do that, we can also use super rationality. Nick would know that he'll tell us it's all fake, and we know it's all fake, so he's really doing it, and he really is doing drugs, but he's convinced us that we know it's fake, and it's all fake like that. Wow. Yeah, he pretended to be a really bad lawyer. He pretended to be a fucking retard. Yes, this is all just AI generated. This is all interpolation, chat. Maybe this is like we're all in the Matrix. Maybe that's what they're getting at here. We're really in the Matrix. They're trying to warn us. And Agent Smith, under the guise of Detective Pomplin, is trying to stop us. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Given the reasons provided herein and the shocking absence of any corroborated facts, well, the shocking... There's some shit in here that's shocking, yes. It's not the absence of corroborated facts. Upholding the search warrant issue in this matter derides the entire notion of the probable cause standard itself. For this reason, the defendant's motion must be granted. Okay, so, this ain't going to win. This ain't gonna win. But what will I do here? Like, if I need to grade this, can I grade it? Sure, I'll grade it. Like, what Nick did before, and like, Nick, I will tell you, third time was even better. This is a better performance, Nick. This was a better performance. You came out, you did a little bit better homework, and now some things like it's still not good enough. Still not good enough, but your third tryout's better than nothing. So, yeah, it's just not complete garbage. Just not complete garbage. This was, and then it's just, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. I mean, it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work, chat. So, that's what I'll tell you. This ain't gonna work. It's like Taylor Swift said. Is it gonna be forever? Or is it gonna go down in flames? Well, it's not gonna be forever. So, Nico Fidel says, gonna review Ralph's letter to the court after this. No, like I said, I think Ralph, the whole issue of the court trying to go after him like this, I think it's bullshit. So, no. Foss says Clyde gets all weeded up. Yes, he does. The content lasagna or the content lasagna for been a member 6 months says, are daddy's PPP and Worski getting a divorce? I don't think so. That whole story sounded so gay. Like, PPP sitting in the corner while Worski's fucking big fat black hose, and he's like, whoa, buddy, you're getting him right in the shitter, Worski. Keep going, buddy. Like, no. Ding, 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 ding. Like, no, like none of that. The whole story doesn't make sense. So, Mordred says, was today for £2 sterling. The King Sterling says, was Rekieta's hearing today a nothing burger? Yeah, it sounds like they're still working out a plea, or Nick is, trying to figure out if he could still bargain a plea. I'm assuming this was more of Nick not wanting the pleas that were offered. And once, probably told his attorney, like, no, keep working on it. They don't get it. They're the government. They suck. Jefferson C. Post says, I heard Joker 2 went badly, for the booty goons. I've heard that too. Pseudo Snark says, like the new license plate, maybe just new to me. What license plate? Regular Chatter says, traditional family man abiding by traditional family values. Yes, that's correct. Oh, God, I hate it when it does that. It makes it look like I have like a tail of hair sticking up. Daytois says, April should claim stupidity. Is that a thing? I mean, she's basically claiming, I don't know what Nick and Kayla had in their fucking house, and that's not really claiming ignorance of like stupidity, but you're claiming ignorance of what's in someone else's house. And that's her best bet, is that, yeah, sure, she's got some coke on her own stuff, but that's going to be the limit of it. So, no, it's not really a like stupidity thing. Deanna says, when did you get the Baldo license plate? What are you guys talking about? Oh, yeah, that thing. Somebody sent it to me. So, Jordan says, damn, walk out on one sermon and the pastor calls it in on you. Yeah. I'm assuming there was a lot more than one, and I'm assuming there was a lot more than one opportunity where they approached him and said, Nick, we think you're going off the wrong path here, buddy. Like, come on, like, fucking get with it. And I'm sure he's like, you're not my dad. I'll do, and I'm sure that happened more than once. And I'm sure that's how it went. I'm sure, they didn't just say, we can't tolerate your prudism here. We're too prude, Nick. You're too Chad for this church. We can't have you in here fucking all of our women. We think you're going to, like, I guarantee you Nick said that's what he thought they were telling him. And like, no, you're just being a degenerate. Get out. And Nick's like, they just thought I'd fuck all their wives. And it's like, I don't think that's what they were thinking. But wait, remember, he'll tell us the whole story. Don't worry, he'll tell us the whole story at some point. 3 Dot says, rumors collapse empires. Yes, they do. They do. Being on drugs makes it hard to hide things. Very correct, Jefferson. Yes, people on drugs don't normally think very far ahead. Blaze says, but can't social guests have standing to contest a search? Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can. Like if you are, like like you're sleeping over or you're a guest in the house. Yes, like if you are your friend from out of town and you're sleeping in the house for a night or two, you might have standing, but just being at the house for a party and the house gets raided, no, you don't have that level of standing. And that's the argument they made is April wasn't part of the household. So she doesn't have standing. Now, if April wants to say, yeah, I lived in the house, well, bam, she gets smacked with the F2, the second-degree felony. There's some tactical consideration here given to, do you really want to challenge a search warrant and expose yourself to that massive liability? Or would you rather stay with the small misdemeanor and try to monkey around with it there and try to work in your own favor? Keeping it small, keeping your problem small is the best thing because smaller problems are easier to work with. Because taking the big problem and making it small takes effort and time, and you might not be able to do it. But making a small problem smaller, you might be able to do that, and it's far easier. It's far easier. Tridio says, how often do judges outright reject a plea deal? It'll happen. I mean, unless it's completely off the fucking wall. I mean, I've had it happen before. I've had it happen, a couple of times. Like, I could probably count on both hands the times that's happened. But generally, no. I mean, they, usually you come up with something that's pretty reasonable. And even then, most judges are like, whatever you've worked out is what you worked out. Unless it's really. Now, I've had times where it's like the deal was really weird. And the judge is like, why are we doing this? And we had to explain it. And the judge is like, okay, that makes sense. We'd explain the factual basis of why we changed something and did a crazy thing. And as long as we can explain it, most judges are okay with it. Tridio says he drinks excessively. It's Solidity's theme song. Remember, apparently that's all kayfabe. It's all gay, chat. It's all gay. Samasadi says April should flip on Nick and Kayla for immunity. You'd like to see that happen, but it doesn't. April apparently is keeping it 10 toes down. She thinks. It seems like April thinks like her and Nick are like in a relationship or something based on the cringe shit they do on Twitter. Like, and based on the reports today, Nick and April were all up on each other, and Kayla was staying there gripping car keys, probably thinking about whether or not to jam them through April's eye sockets. So we don't really. It doesn't sound like It sounds like April is too retarded to realize she probably should flip to save herself. Let's see here. Garrett says you missed the ripping and tearing pretty much. Battle Elf says you can't prove he's doing cocaine or was drinking from a video. Yeah, and you can't prove that guy is raping a 5-year-old on a video. Like, no, it doesn't. Like, that won't work that way. Dimitri Bell says, would this case have any snitching or prisoner's dilemma stuff? Oh, I think April's in a very big prisoner's dilemma issue here. She could snitch. She wanted to. But the prisoner's dilemma of April and Kayla and Nick snitching on April or blaming April, I don't think will work. And April and Nick can't really blame Kayla because Nick and Kayla seem to have equal possession over everything. So it's really a thing for whether April's willing to save herself or not. April's going to sync with the Baldo. Yeah, but that's, hey, it's like the abbreviation says, can't understand normal thinking. Can't understand normal thinking. Yeah, looks the bottle. Yeah, total kayfabe. That's the thing. April is the band playing on the Titanic. Yeah, but they knew they were going down. So they're not necessarily like them, but I kind of get the idea. C says, what kind of pistol is that next to the Baldo license plate? That is a Glock 17 on the 3D print frame. Okay, let's see here. We're catching up on some of this. Cringe Paler says the judge got bribed by Bob and Celeste, Nick's parents, in a closed door deal to get Nick off on all crimes. Yeah, well, that apparently didn't fucking work. They're doing it like this because Nick said to. I mean, that's a scary thing that Nick is convincing his attorneys to do what he wants. But yeah. John Coleman's been a member for 8 months. Says it was the midichlorians. Scarebro says the motion sounds like Nick is using Kayla as a proxy to include specific points, insinuations without evidence, like Aaron being a swatter. It is. This is Nick putting all these little pause-loaded grievances out there, because as Nick said, sounding like a jilted ex-girlfriend. He just can't quit Aaron. He just can't quit him. And yes, he's basically making all the arguments they fucked up and couldn't bring in their first motion. Clinical decision, yikes. I'm sure that Nick's therapist will says that every time. Says the myopia of matriarchal specters. Yes. Yes, those specters are everywhere. And Garrett Pace says the myopia of indicia. Yes. Yes, Nick's word a day calendar. He doesn't use it. He doesn't show us all the words. Like, we only know about myopia and we only know about specters. Nick, what are you doing with all the other days on your calendar, man? Start using a word a day, buddy. Come on, you got to use a word a day. Let's go. Build that vocabulary. Become verbose. Solo Blue says, I wonder how bad Nick would have got had they not been arrested. At this rate, he'd be dead. No, it takes a while. You'd be surprised at how long the human body can survive. He would just he'd look like a ghoul now. I mean, there is a real possibility he could have passed out on stream and pulled a Janis Joplin. That would have been fucking scary to watch. But that could have happened. I mean, theoretically. The Chugi Show says, I was 8 years old when I learned that law tubers are as talented as Al Pacino. Yeah, that's the thing. It's no. If I'm an actor, I'm not fucking doing it right. Sleazy says, more black than Kayla was. Jeez. Linda Richards says, Nick will try the Chewbacca defense next. Yeah, I think he will. I mean, that's where they're getting to. Also, good to see you, Linda. Hope you're doing well. Volaludo says, wait, are you saying don't do criminal shit on camera? Weird. I know, that's something only a nerd would tell you. Don't commit your crimes on camera. Don't do illegal shit on camera. Don't document yourself doing crimes.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
Yeah, don't take notes on a criminal conspiracy, chat. T-Reese says he won't even put the fucking door on his cabinet. Rip the handyman defense. Yeah. The monument, the doors. It's like, well, he did sink flooded, or you guys probably got really angry and kicked the doors in. I mean, I'm sure that totally happened. Also, if the sink flooded, I mean, the floor probably had to get stripped out then too. Foley's saying, why didn't Nick mention he was acting? And I thought you guys were explaining and analyzing cases, not acting for clicks and hits. Yeah, I know, totally. God damn it, Nick and Kayla, you blew it! You pulled the curtain away. Why? Why would you do this to us? Oh, Fred Rush says, sandwich money. Well, thank you. That's always helpful. Can never have too much sandwich money. Black Belt Bebe says, my husband was a DRE for many years. You know what? Sometimes they use videos and texts to teach the classes, not actual drug addicts. Fun fact. Yeah. I know you said that a little while ago, but yeah, that's the thing. They do use examples. They do use video. They have training aids. When they're training a cop to do DUI field sobriety test, they don't bring in people and just get them tore up and have them perform it. They watch videos. Here's how drunk people react. You can have observations and training. There's a building up of learning stuff. But, just stomp. Once again, they're stomping all over their dick. Love the Pie says the Myopia of Coke Mania. Yes. And Pirate Tomsky for £5 sterling. The King Sterling says, but Sean, the law don't apply here because I'm Rekieta Law, a small law firm with no experience in legal law, and I'm exempt. That's another argument to make. I don't know. Let's see how well it goes in court, Cotton. April is Baldo or death. Yes. Stardust Creator says, nearer, my God, to thee. Yes. As they played as the Titanic sunk. Super Wiener says, hey, Sean, I've got a bite. It's an illegal situation. Need some advice. Is there an email I can point him to? Thanks. I mean, yeah, you can do potentiallycriminal@gmail.com, but I mean, ultimately, you know, search around for an attorney. He needs to search around for an attorney in his area. And a lot of attorneys will do a free consultation. And, you know, I would, that's honestly that's when I probably recommend him do anyway. At the end of the day, that's the most likely answer I give him because I don't know where he lives. I don't know the laws where he's at. And finding a competent attorney in his jurisdiction is the best option. So go out and find an attorney, do free consultation, talk to an attorney and see what your options are. And the attorney might tell you, yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. Well, then good. You don't have to worry about it. You're supposed to be a defense attorney. Show us your defense. Well, I'm showing you there isn't a defense here. Part of that job is to be truthful and tell you you don't have an out. There's no more road. There's no more off ramps. You're stuck. You're all boxed in. You know what? We use an Al Pacino quote. Well, actually, not an Al Pacino quote because Robert De Niro said it to Al Pacino. You know, when they're at the diner, he's like, "What if you got me boxed in and I got to make a move, and I got to put you down?" Well, yeah, you're all boxed in right now. There ain't nowhere to go. Recovered alcoholic says an alcoholic who had a liver transplant. I'm glad you saw. I'm glad that you're recovered, and I'm glad that you survived the transplant. Licking the bottle is wild. Mm-hmm. Hodor says, could she even play an instrument? Yes, the Waffen, Sean. The Waffens. Sean did last night's 3D print work. Yes, it did. And we'll work on maybe tomorrow because I'll be done with tomorrow's going to be an early day. And I don't know what 2.0's plans are for the afternoon. But if we're not doing something, we might do we'll probably go on Rumble to do it. Do a little bit of putting together the cab fare 22. I got most of it 3D printed up, so it looks like it's pretty easy to put together. I'll put out a notice somewhere for everybody what we're doing. And then over this weekend, we'll probably do a Ghost Gun stream over on Rumble. I think we're going to try to do that monthly from now on. And hopefully, because I've got all the parts now from over at maf-arms.com, one of our sponsors, maf-arms.com. Use the promo code POCRIM for 10% off. And if you order in the next 15 minutes, you'll get nudes of Cody Wilson. That's right, chat. In the next 10 minutes, you'll get nudes of Cody Wilson. With Matt. They don't want you to know that, but, they were, they tried to be lovers, and then they couldn't be friends. Where you go to maf-arms.com, your premier wind chime dealer in Central Florida. But yes, I got all the parts I need for the hitchhiker. I might be able to put that together this weekend. We might do that tomorrow too, so that way I could take it out to where I'm going for Thanksgiving and try it out. But anyways, we'll figure that out. Nick would have had better luck if he just claimed he was a sovereign citizen. Yeah, at times you think so. Pause-loaded allegations, pretty much. Kimbo says, Nick and I need to battle in a volcano. Nick has a heat allergy, though. He would break out in hives. Iman Reza says the bottles can't talk. I know, that's why they'd be like, no, don't put me up there. That's where you poop from. Oh. HIV1 says, I stick to not committing crimes, but I'm lazy. That works too. That works at the end of the day. Jordan says, my cocaine was traveling. Yes, or I think Nick is going to try the argument of, it's decorative cocaine. We bought it from Kirkland's. It's all decorative. It's just meant to be a conversation piece. Yamal says, any chance the judge wants a guilty plea instead of a no contest? I don't think that's the issue. I think Nick wanted some bullshit the judge wasn't going to grant. Like, I think Nick wanted everything dismissed or some misdemeanor or some ridiculous felony out of it. And he's like, no, I'm not supporting that. I would assume that's the issue at the end of the day. So, yes, he was acting. It was theatrical cocaine. It was a prop. Oh. And Pseudosnark says, for $20, thank you, by the way, for $20. Says, totally didn't think about this DRE probably, but give OBS on but yeah, they give observations on body cams in court. Yeah. Yeah, now normally that's because they're already there. They're just recounting what they saw on body cam. So that one's a little different because it's their body cam that's being played, and he could say, yes, I was there, and here's what I observed. But, still, you could have a DRE even then probably come in and say some things at times. Pirate Tomsky says, for £2 sterling, says, say hello to my little Baldo. I still, and that's part of one of the things I want to do, Chad, is get together one of those 40 millimeter launchers from Odin, the AWCY guys. Because the Baldo is like the perfect size to launch out of a 40 millimeter launcher. That'd be the most hilarious, like, non-lethal round ever, or less lethal round, shooting people with a big rubber dildo. Like that. That would be so embarrassing for people. That'd be great. You watch the police shoot a like Antifa with those looped up baldos. Oh. Jimmy Touchdown says, what is the random capitalizations of words in the section headings? Little crap work. Did Kayla's attorney go to TTT Mitchell Hamline? Third tier Mitchell Hamline. I don't know where she went. But the random capitalization, let me see what you're talking about here. No, when you're like there's a lot more words I would do that, but when you're doing legal headings, you capitalize a lot of words. That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. It's also not uncommon to make them all caps, but capitalizing all the words is not uncommon. TV says it's all an intergovernmental conspiracy. Nerds. Remember, Nick said it's all about government telephone. And it's all about like a bunch of little conspiracies that happen to grow into a big conspiracy. And then SB Sellers gifted 10 subs. Thank you. Thank you very much for the support and the generosity, Sellers. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the support. Remember, chat, we're praying the gray away. We're praying the gray away. And you can help. You too can help pray the gray away. Shane M1980 says, you are a freak of nature, having all that white hair and beard, but the Jack Black mustache is impressive. Well, if you look close enough, there are a lot of white hairs coming in here. But yeah, that's the last thing that's going. And I kind of have the feeling I'm going to end up with these, like the little cheeks, the little wings here. I have a feeling those are going to stick around forever. And then I'll end up with like a gray beard. I'll have this down here still be black, and I'm going to look like a fucking weirdo. But thank you. I appreciate it. Yellow Flash, yeah, just going back. So you can't do the dishes and laundry, but sure, drywall, yeah. DS says, I laid drywall, but then I realized what's a change stuff you a Mordras for £2 left it speechless, and I think right afterwards says for £2 more, can't hang a kitchen door, never mind drywall. Yeah, remember it's a memoriam. It's the memoriam for the brave handyman. Never forgotten. But Nick, it's never forgotten. But your sink, you said, all the bleach in your house is more dangerous than drugs. Your kids can access that. You're just leaving out household cleaners for your kids to have access to? What kind of monster are you, Nick? You said that was so dangerous, but you're just letting the kids access it. You know, those kids are in danger again, I guess, by that definition. They need protected, Nick. Put those doors on. Protect your kids. Let's go. Come on. Nick, I'm just saying, that's what you said. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. Mom's ravioli for €2. Says, just woke up. So did Nick get felted? He got felted tangential. He got felted through a third party. Kayla's going to get felted and Nick's going to get refelted. And yes, I'm assuming Nick got felted since there was no plea agreement today, at least for what he wanted. Because as he told Melton going in, he's like, I'm going to have to do something anathema to who I am, but I'm going to show my boys how a man is. Well, apparently he didn't take the fucking deal, so I don't know what part of the man happened there. What manly thing did you do? Go in there and say, no, I don't want this. I don't like this. I don't know, man. I don't know. Pirate Tomsky for £2 sterling says he pretended to be an upstanding member of society. Yes. DS says he was the dad who wanted the BD to be his BC. Yes, Benjamin Lewis is right. Drywall dust is something you keep in a trash can, not in the safe. Yes. Yes. Joseph Houghton says he rubbed all the felt off the table. Well, yeah, that's a hell of a way to be felted. Malcolm Combs says, ladies and gentlemen, where are the aristocrats? And Palmyra Production says, maybe took a little too much Molly and started to snuggle with the sheetrock. Yeah, that would be... I mean, can you imagine Nick in his, like, Baldo Skelly state getting mad and, like, trying to punch drywall? I can only imagine he tried to punch it and be like, I broke my hand. Cerebral Parasite gifted 20 subs. Thank you so much for the support and the generosity. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And whoever got those, whoever got one of the gifts, guys, definitely tell them thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Sarah Marie's been a member for 10 months. Good to see you again, says. And look, there's a picture of like her avatar standing in front of the Rekietas. A dumpster fire. Saying, do you think he's going to get much jail time? On this offense alone, no, I still don't think he will. There's going to be a presumption he doesn't get jail time. It's a first-time offender. While this is an offense, it's a drug offense. It's not an offense of violence. There wasn't, like, organized crime involvement here. This wasn't a distribution thing. This is a guy with a lot of coke and a lot of money. I still don't think he'll do jail time. I've already said that as part of, I don't think he'll get that now. Could he just be cruising for a bruising at this point? Maybe, but it's not like he's going to go. It's not like he's going to be making fucking license plates. I can tell you that much, Chad. He's not going to be sitting there making those. Mortaress for £5. 5 more pounds. Nick will be like, you looks like you gained 5 more pounds, Sean. You're fat. I can already hear it now as he's punching himself in the head. What do you think will happen next in court with those nerds? Well, Kayla's going to have her hearing. Well, the state's going to respond to Kayla. I don't think they're going to have a hearing. I think they're just doing brief submissions. The state's probably going to blow Kayla's shit out of the water. Kayla's going to lose. I think Nick is kind of hoping he could find out before he comes back on the 17th what happens to Kayla. But yeah, at some point he's going to have to plea. I don't see him going to trial would just be fucking stupid. Like in the history of bad decisions, that would be a really bad decision. But you know, Nick's trying to shoot the moon on that whole concept. But I think at some point by the 17th, I think he's going to have to plea. So hopefully, like I said, I don't want him to go to trial because he's going to lose, and that's not going to end well. The Amateur Iconoclast, been a member for 11 months, is on the road tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving, Sean and chat. Be safe, happy travels, and hope you make it to your loved ones in one piece. And that goes the same for everybody. Guys, be safe out there. Be safe driving around. Go in the airports. Be safe. Don't chimp out at the airport and get on a body cam we end up watching later in a members only stream. Be safe, but enjoy your time with your family. If you don't have family, you're hanging out with friends, enjoy your friends. And if you're not able to do either of those, we'll be doing a live show Thursday night, probably around 9:30 or so, kind of the normal time, and we'll be hanging out. So you can join us there. I mean, we're not going to eat on camera, but we'll be hanging out if you want to join us. So that'll be Thursday night, guys, at 9:30. I don't think we'll go super long, but we'll hang out. No Mayo says for $1.99. In what scenarios do we not get body cam footage? I think if he pleads out, we don't get it. But then I think it becomes an issue of we can try to. The whole thing with Minnesota is fucking weird about their privacy rules and what gets protected. But I still think there's ways to get it. But ultimately, all the parties involved have body cam footage as part of discovery. So once again, I think Noel's ability to go waving some money in front of April's nose after the coke dries up and she's on her own, I'm sure that'll probably take care of the issue. I mean, $6,000, April. It's a lot of money. $6,000. 6 bands. 6 bands. They're all yours. No questions asked. No strings attached. Just give up the files. You can do it. Jose Rodriguez says, I read on the farms Nick's Lawpo plate got revoked for his no insurance ticket. Have you heard anything of this? I haven't heard it got revoked. It doesn't sound like I don't think he's lost his driver's license either. I know people are saying that, but I haven't. Nobody's ever I don't think I've seen anybody put anything up saying like it's explicitly like he doesn't have the car's plates are invalid or his license is invalid. So no, I haven't seen anything about that. Michael Gelke is saying for 50,000 dong. We know how you're into alternative payments. How do you feel about dong? Well, I mean, I'm gonna be like Rick Harrison on Pawn Stars. I don't know about dong, but I know a guy. And everybody, I want you to meet Aaron Imholt. He knows a lot about dong. He can come in and tell us all about these 50,000 dong. Bebop and Rocksteady say, what the actual hell is going on here? Get caught, first time offender, get diversion, complete, and move on with your life. Yeah, that would totally make sense. But, when you're too busy running around in the finest definition of a 90s faggot, to quote, one of the more brilliant warrior poets of our time, that's hard to do. That's hard to do when you're doing that, too busy running around in that condition. So, but I agree. There's no muss, no fuss. Get it done, get it over with, move on with your life like an adult. Stop Must Be says he cried to the judge like a man. Maybe he did. I don't know. Max Grift says, what do I think about Dick's friend Riley and refusing a plea deal and going to trial? So Riley is going to, and you guys don't know, this is the whole thing with Eric July. Riley, and the thing is, from what I understand, I don't even know if he's facing a felony. I think it's just misdemeanor time, which, I mean, it's not, going to jail sucks for anybody, but you kind of are playing with house money at that point if he's not facing a ton of jail time. So we'll see. I do think it's interesting, though, like Dick's like, oh, well, Eric July's going to have to testify. It's like, okay, great, he will. And then if he does, then when he does testify, Riley still go, like, if Riley loses, like, okay, Eric July said he was scared of us, and now Riley's in jail for a while. Like, I don't see how that's a win. But I mean, I know there's like peeing on the grave and all that for Eric's family, but I don't know the totality of the evidence on that one, other than them showing up at the Eric July the Rippaverse comic book party. Other than that, I don't know specifically what they're citing as action or the stalking activity or whatever it is. So I don't know enough to truly comment on that one. But I think certainly of things, that's probably a more triable type of case at the end of the day. I think it's probably a lot more triable than a lot of people who think Riley's going to go away may think. I don't know enough to know about that one, though, ultimately, what everything's out there. Maybe Riley's got a hell of a hand. And he's like, take it to trial and win. Who really knows? Certainly I don't. I don't know. Sellers is saying Link Clyde coins equal to 2,415 dong. Yeah, he also went to Eric's workplace. I know, but that one right there, the idea like vandalism, like taping money to the building, that's like probably one of the only times in history where the vandalism generated money for the person being vandalized. Like Eric July made because I think Riley did it for you're not reading my $20 super chats. So they're like $20 bills taped on the front of the building. I don't even know what were there, 3, 4, 5 of them maybe. So yeah, Riley taped shit to Eric's window and Eric made $100. That's probably the weirdest case of vandalism ever. I still don't know. Like I said, that stuff is going to be tough because how much fear are you really in when clearly the guy's fucking around? Now, the other stuff he's done, could that be construed as, putting you in reasonable fear of your safety? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about what's going on there to tell you one way or another. Yeah, I know he's also made the comments where he's like, I'm going to, I want to kill you or I want to die or all the weird shit. I just don't know how it's going to work. I don't, because I don't know what they have evidence-wise. Unlike this case where we watched it all happen. We don't know everything. So, or at least I don't know everything. Riley's going to save Eric July. Funny. All right. Stop Must Be says, any plans to print a hitchhiker? I've already got one pretty much printed up and ready to go. So, yes, I already have one. I just need to put it together now because I got all the parts. But, yes, I was one of the initial beta testers for printing them out. And that's why we'll probably work on those coming up. Scarebro says, Nick is desperate to toss the child endangering charge. Or the child, I think it's child neglect. Is it child neglect, child endangering? I forgot the top of my head. To salvage his ego. He's I had to take the deal because my kids. He will lean on kids like a crutch. The excuse he's used all his life for not getting it together. Yeah, I'm sure, he'll say well, that's all the government is. Sometimes they got you by the balls and you got to bend the knee. It's but you spent months and months and months screaming anybody does that's a big fag. This is different. Okay, man, he said it, not us. Foley says, Nick not mentioning acting shows Kayla plainly lying. No, because they'd argue you're too retarded. It's obvious this is all acting. This is all theatrics. That's probably the argument they make. They'd say, you failed your media literacy, Foley. You just didn't get it. It's too over your head. Laura Smart's been around for 2 months. Says, first live from the Rewatch crew. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Nick Kreuzer gifted 5 subs. And EDW Raptor gifted 10. And we're praying that gray away, chat. Praying the gray away. Hallelujah. Or takfir, whichever one you prefer. Thank you guys for your support and your generosity. Scarebro says, losing the child endangering charge is integral to his new identity. The Christian philosopher and dad who sacrificed everything for McKeeds. Yeah. I know. I think he's well, I didn't have to plead to it. It's yeah, but we know what happened in the home. So, Eakin for $1.99 says, will he fold to pressure like his limp D? Cheers. Well, I mean, he can't enter a plea by Baldo if that happens. So, and then Amateur Iconoclast gifted 5 subs, and EDW Raptor gifted 5 more. Thank you guys for the support and the generosity, man. Really, we're really praying that gray away tonight, chat. I got a feeling. One of these days, we'll pray him all the way. 10K View has been a member for 11 months. Says happy U.S. Thanksgiving, chat, and be safe. Yes, I know in Canada they've already had Thanksgiving, so thank you. And Muzzy Skeleton for 3 months says, Yana, I need to see my son, but my cats. I get that joke. Yeah, I do. Like I said, I do think it's bullshit that he got that, because I think, there should be the right of free press in a courtroom. Nick Kreuzer for $5 says, pig and buffalo is greater than the brain of the turtle brain turtle. God, I'm fucking this up. Brain turtle. I am not. What does it mean? I can't read it right now. I screwed up. Yeah, it's over my head tonight, chat. I'm a little just. It's Gen Z talk, yeah. Oh, it's TMMT. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't see. I completely messed it up there. Bebop and Rocksteady. Oh, Bebop and Rocksteady. Well, Rocksteady was like a warthog. Like, well, there's the rhino and the warthog. Is greater than is greater than the brain. Are you thinking like Krang plus the turtles plus Splinter? Okay, I get that. Then I get that. Yes, I like Bebop and Rocksteady. They were the coolest. Bebop and Rocksteady saying legal bites with the last laugh is an outcome I didn't see coming. It sounds like Alita's doing really well. They just had a kid. Awesome news. I was on the stream with her a little while ago. Yeah, congrats to her. Hope this is going well. Hope she's enjoying it. Zero says, any news of Styx Hexenhammer and his domestic abuse charges? I don't know. I haven't followed up on it. I haven't really paid attention. I know. I'm not going to lie. That one, I'm kind of hoping I could follow. If somebody brings up what's going on, I'll check into it, and then I could probably comment on it. The one thing I really want to learn about is what the fuck happened with Conor McGregor over in Ireland, because that sounds fucking crazy over there. So I'm actually trying to figure out how to look into that in the next day or two, because I am really curious to understand what happened. And no, I'm not going to listen to Brendan Schaub for that, because he's not going to be not listening to him at all. Scarebro says he's been a member for 3 months. Like Ralph and revenge porn charge never happened. Yeah. John Coleman is gifted 5 subs himself, helping to pray it away, chat. Thank you again for praying it away, chat. We need to pray the gray away. Do it for the children, chat. Pray the gray away. Give your children a gray-free world. That's all you got to do, chat. You just got to take care of it, chat. You must secure the existence of your people and a future for all of the green children out there. That's what you have to do. It's your duty. Nay, it's your birthright. It sounds like her boyfriend beat her up for cheating and she blamed it on Connor. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I need to look into that. Is Tommy Robinson still in jail? Yes, he is still in jail. What's the Conor McGregor situation? He had a civil trial in Ireland and was found liable for rape or sexual assault. So, Ireland's justice system is fucked. Well, I don't know. Like I said, you got to see what happened there. Girat says it's got a legal mindset membership and a membership here in one day, winning. Well, there you go. Congrats. Let's see here. The casino shut down due to the Vegas AIDS. Let's talk about the green question. You mean the gray question? How do we get rid of the grays? Lofi says potentially queefable. So anime sucks, cope, and Sneed. Yes, 100%. Yamal says the lady in the Conor McGregor case had her tampon surgically removed. I'd heard that, but I didn't know if that had actually been confirmed. Like I said, the Conor McGregor thing is fucking wild, what is alleged to have happened. Yeah, the allegation is Conor McGregor hammered her so hard she had to get surgery. Yeah. Great. No, we don't use the faggy words here. We don't do that shit. We use adult words because we're adults. We don't do the gay stuff. You know, unaliving is like we don't do any of that stuff here. We use the adult words. Ekin says, I hope you make $1 million. You're 199 closer. Well, thank you very much. And yes, all hail the 199. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Remember, every little step, every raindrop makes the flood bigger and bigger. Golden Mongo says, legal dick suckers, more like it. Yes. Yes, that's very true. Very true. So if I had the video of Nick doing that, we'd do that one. That would be hilarious. Snake Pliskin says, gray and proud. Your time is running short. Nero says, you'll never get rid of the grays. Oh, buddy, we are going to have fun trying. We will have fun trying genociding the grays. John Coleman for $2 says, a prayer request for chat. Pray my gray away. We'll work on that, John. Well, I think you're not gray, are you? You're green, but pray your gay away. Well, we could try that too. Eric Kush says, illegal mindset. He's a classic. He's not. Lopi says, whoa, an F slur. I'm like, well, it is what it is. C says, Conor is not a convicted sex offender. Yes, that's correct. I didn't say he was convicted. I said he was found liable. So, yeah. Self-dying. Yes, Justice Smith says, did you see the episode in the casino that they partied? Aren't you mad the casino partied? Yeah, I don't know. And Scam Likely says, rape. Yeah, I mean, really.
Rape.
Yeah, pretty much. Sean wants to do gay adult stuff with us. Lawyer man accepts no infringement. Yeah. Yep. Oh, no, I mean, it just is what it is. Scream Queen Selena says, why is Nick so excited if he didn't take the plea? He's acting like he won something. I'm a little confused. You know, we don't know what happened in that. We don't know what happened in that settings. Remember, it's not done in public, and it doesn't have to be. You know, a lot of us are thinking Nick probably got an offer he didn't like, or they're going to go back to the drawing board on this, but maybe there were some concessions that have been talked about there. You know, maybe there's a concession or two that happened. I don't know the extent of the negotiation. Maybe it happened. The problem is you're dealing with Nick, who is not a reliable narrator. So you don't really know what happened. I mean, it's all up to conjecture about what happened. Zach Whiteside says, we don't want to see your health decline. See your health to continue to decline. Please try like currently's workout. I have been losing weight, man. Not like a ton, but I have been losing weight. Thank you. I appreciate the concern. Aaron and Nick just turned off the streams. Yeah, well, jeez. Nero, you can't build your own tower. That doesn't count. You have to build it as a community. Breezen says YouTube uses people, they shadow ban people use the trigger words often. They will shadow ban me. I know, but that's why I don't normally use, I don't normally talk about that stuff anyway, but I just, once again, talk about grape and rugs and come on, just be an adult. But I appreciate that, Breezen. I mean, yeah, I know YouTube is ridiculous about what they do. C says if there's medical evidence of the rape kit, Why was it countercharged back in 2019? I don't know, but remember, a finding in civil court is a lot lower of a standard than a criminal conviction. And remember, even in a place like Ireland, I don't know what they actually have a standard for. I'm actually doing some research on that. A criminal conviction is going to be harder to get than a civil finding. So that might have been part of the issue. We don't really know. That's why I'm trying to do the research on this to figure out what the fuck happened. Yes, you can't self-end tower. It's a community building exercise. Yes. Somebody tell Steve Cambion we found the Grays. Yes, Truth Seeker. That guy when we were on the election show. It was awesome hanging out with him, and I've seen him on with Worski and PPP in the meantime. That dude's like the knowledge of like him breaking down like what's going on in the UFO community has been pretty cool. So he's the Truth Seeker. If you guys are looking for him on YouTube, pretty cool stuff. He's a very neat guy to talk to. I'm going to need special black uniforms for the green soon. Yes. Spud gun for £2 sterling. The King Sterling says, who's going to goal though? Nick, Kayla, or April? I don't know. I don't really know. Temple. Oh, okay. Temple's Brew Arc Trizin says, why do you catch so many strays from Nick? I think that goes back. I mean, they're like, certainly I'll admit it. I've poked a lot of fun at Nick. I've made a lot of jokes at his expense about him, making just overall jokes about Hito and things like that. Like, I'll fully admit I've done what I've done there. And certainly, could that have pissed him off over time? Sure. Mocking him for all the heresy and all that too. Sure. I'd certainly, not going to sit here and tell you, I ain't going to sit and be like, Oz didn't do nothing, boss. Like, I did what I've done. And I think some of that irks Nick's shit. And, I think that's the main reason. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Nick is hates because he's jealous of me or anything like that. It's just, I think Nick is, I think a lot of it comes down to, I'm not buying his bullshit. And if you don't agree with him and you stand up to him, he fucking hates you. I mean, that's kind of a normal thing there. So, but you know what? Like like I said, if Nick got his shit together and came back into the world and acted like a civilized human being, I tell him congratulations, welcome back, and, wish the best for him and his family. And I mean, I still want the best for his family. I still want the best for him. I don't want to see him die. I don't want to see him go to prison. Neither of those are good outcomes. Bart Shitten says, God bless the word. Yes. Well, I mean, if you're being really, yes. Yes. God bless the word, and then Christ is king. The house always wins. Yes, Trash Fire. Do we need a Vontae conference for the Grays? Yes. Yes, we do. We do. Reason says he's been investigated prior to the civil action. They didn't charge him. Sure. And remember, though, you can always pursue civil action if there's no criminal case. The vape with the hard R. And Zach, you're praying for me? I appreciate that. Like I said, I've been working on it, making progress. I have some plans. I've been working on trying to change stuff up. We're hopefully going to work on a lot more here going forward. So thank you. I appreciate it. Brewberry says Connor's in the process of being dropped from everything, and his fiance has gone on a huge tirade against the accuser. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on here that I need to look into. Conor McGregor, I kind of fucking forgot about him. He'd been out of the picture for a while. Zach says, stop reading the free chat and get the super tips. Well, I read everybody, man. And we've got a couple here. We've got, 1, 2, 3 that have just come in. We'll get to those. But everybody, like, everybody gets, if you got a comment, I want to read it. That's how it works. Cool Boy says, Sean, I'm making a website about my ex's grandmother. She is a psych nurse who ruined my life and got me addicted to benzos. I'm using her name in the domain. Can she sue me? Well, I mean, you have to be careful. Like, are you saying, www.sallyjohnsonsahorror.com? I mean, you got to be, or you could say www.sallyjohnson gave me benzos and ruined me. I mean, theoretically, she still might, but that's going to be an issue of, do you live in a state with, slap laws? It's all going to depend. So really, you're going to need to talk to an attorney in your, where you live, and find out what the laws are where you live. But it all depends on, like, is it defamation or is it an opinion, or how would that work? I mean, just because it's a website name would not alleviate you from defamation automatically, because you could say, well, it's just the web address. Yeah, but that doesn't automatically alleviate it. So consult with an attorney where you live is all I can tell you. Pray times 12, or praying for the X12. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to have the X12 come back. Says, you look very distinguished, Gray. Thank you. It looks a lot better than when it was black. And Altimer says, dear God, watch Fish Tank. Yeah, live Rekieta catching strays. Yeah, I saw that where Alex Stein was on there talking about Nick. That was really fucking hilarious. That was really hilarious. I was cracking up listening to that. Logical Bystander says, I skipped the UFO stuff on Kino. No, I'm serious. Like, it's not even the UFO stuff, but it's about the drama in the UFO community. It's pretty interesting. Definitely you should listen to it. It's pretty cool. Am I on the Ozempic diet? I mean, it's not working if I'm on the Ozempic diet, right? Mixing my Ozempic with some butter, apparently. No, I am not. Siobhan says, wow, the tampon thing is going to stick with me. Was that pun intended? Because pun intended, maybe. Let's see here. Trying to catch up. Adam says, in civil court, you can lose even if you didn't do it. You can lose in a criminal case even if you didn't do it. There are innocent people in prison. So, let's see here. Let's see. Yes, I am live. Yes, I am very much live. This is not actually. How'd you guys know this was meant to be a recording aired in January 16th, 1983? Lofi says the UFO community sounds swampy as fuck. Yeah. Yep. Prey says my election coverage is awesome. Yeah, we're going to be doing some more of that coming up. We might do it tomorrow, some more of the post-election business. California is still counting fucking ballots. They're still counting ballots in California. They're still counting ballots. Kerry Lake is officially lost. And then, yeah, there's just some really funny stuff out there. Well, it ain't funny, but just like I told you guys, the next little bit of time between here and Inauguration Day is gonna get mighty sporty. So we'll probably do some of those soon. Sula says, can you compare what happened with Trump with E. Jean Carroll to Conor McGregor? Without knowing what happened to Conor McGregor, no, because I don't know. E. Jean Carroll's a fucking lunatic. That's all I know about her. And she basically used the Law and Order plot line as her story. Remember, E. Jean Carroll's the woman who went on CNN and said women like to be raped when she was talking to Anderson Cooper. I mean, look at her. She's a crazy lady. But other than that, I don't know anything. So, like I said, I don't know shit about what happened with Conor McGregor. I know like a little bit, and then I know a little bit of what you guys have mentioned here. So, I don't know. I can't compare. If you're trolling me, that was brilliant. Let's see. April probably cut a deal already. I don't know. We'll see. Sarah Brown says, there's enough evidence for Kayla to get a DVO in civil court. She could put him out of the house for a year if she wanted to. I don't think there's enough evidence for a domestic violence restraining order or protection order right now. I mean, remember, you'd have to bring in Aaron, and Aaron can't really come in on her behalf because they have to. There's a no contact protection order right there. I don't see any, like, I mean, there's no allegations really of any domestic violence or domestic, strife outside of normal marriage bounds that we're truly known to know at this point. So, I would actually disagree with that right now. Let's see here. I wouldn't answer the question. Is that what happened? Because I didn't answer the question. Nick got mad. Although I will say, yes, I was bringing up. I brought up the joke about the shower call. Oh, we might have a guest joining our stream in a second, chat. But yeah, I brought up the shower call as a joke about having a tankless water heater. Like, I was gonna kind of do like a Rush Limbaugh, like, Renai, tankless water heaters. That's all I was just trying to make a joke. Be funny. And didn't get very funny at the end of the day. Nick is mad that I ate all his bread. I could definitely see that too, because I probably would eat a lot of his bread. I never answered the question. That too, yes. Yeah, Nick made me. Well, he made too much of me. I mean, by looking at me, he made way too much of me. That's part of the problem here. I wouldn't kiss the ring. I never will kiss the ring. Jerry says, I kind of want him in prison. I get that, but remember, at the end of the day, it's want and whether or not somebody really needs to be there is a different thing. Oh, yes, Christ is Kang. Yes. Jail says, do you think he hit rock bottom yet? No. I mean, he has not hit rock bottom. He's like in the core. He's turned on the laser and he's just like shooting through the crust. He has not hit rock bottom. You're just jealous you can't make a mushroom pan sauce like Nick. Yeah, because that's so hard to do. I mean, I'm so jealous I can't. I was gonna, I've never thought of throwing chicken fucking broth into my biscuits and gravy. Like, ugh. That ain't that. We ain't never. You're never gonna see me do that, chat. You're never gonna see me do that. Stabby says, I'm praying your puzzle skills improve. Don't worry, I got you squared away, man. Oh, Nick might never hit rock bottom. Yeah, he might not. It all depends. Can I make pudding at 3 a.m.? Yes. Yes. I don't think we even have pudding, though, so I don't know how well that would go. I'm not going to put Wagyu on top of more meat. No. Never trust then chef. Well, there's that too. And hold on one second, chat. Oh, we have a guest. Hold on, let me. We have a guest, chat. Snore for you or not, but snore like an adult. Like, there's been times he's been in bed and there have been so many times I've woken up in the middle of the night and I'm like, it sounds like there's somebody sleeping, like there's a third person in the bed. Dylan Moat says, why are you not eating in front of the mic? I'm already fat enough. There you go. You can hear it. Oh, yeah. Clyde's just dreaming of peens, chasing him down. A field of peens. Sarah Marie's like, I knew you way before I knew Nick, though, by 2 to 3 years. Thank you. I appreciate that. There are some people there. Clyde needs a dog CPAP. Oh, he's my boy. He's my dude. I'm so glad we found him. So glad we were able to get him from the APL. And whoever dropped him off, I am so happy they did at the end of the day, because that means we got to adopt him. So the Ohio King sleeps 3. Clyde is a little pig. Yes, he is. Ginger said I didn't recognize it as a doggo. Well, he's curled up. Is the Rumble show going to be on locals too? Yeah, I'll probably stream to both. Hodor says, imagine dropping a Clyde off. Yeah, we don't really know the whole story about why he got dropped off. We kind of, from what we were kind of able to piece together, it sounds like he was maybe like in an elderly couple's home or had an older owner, and maybe the owner died or they couldn't care for him anymore. But they dropped him off and he was in really rough shape. So, yeah. Yeah, but see, this is what you can do for your dog when they don't live in the bathroom. So, I'm distracting you from the real show. Clyde won. I think so. I think Clyde won. Like I said, I'm very glad we found him. I'm glad we were able to pick him. It was kind of cool when we were walking through the APL, because they had all the bigger dogs down below, and he was just up in like one of the higher up kennels, like the smaller ones, and he's just laying on his back, just staring out. So, yeah. Aaron explained the Nick Rekieta stuff to the fish tank crew. Oh, how does Aaron have an in to fucking Sam Hyde and all that? That's pretty cool. So, Clyde is co-host. Yeah. Don't cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm just very lucky that we found him. We don't, in society, it doesn't, for dogs, it doesn't take much to do right by him. That's the neat thing. You just love on them a little bit and keep them in somewhat decent care. You don't have to do a whole lot to make a dog function. But yeah, we really, truly don't deserve them. And just think, some guy gave a wolf that was willing to get a little close to the fire a piece of meat. And, 100,000 years later, we're watching a dog snore on fucking camera. Not Aaron, it was Alex Stein. Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't know, 'cause that means Aaron was in touch with Alex Stein and stuff, yeah. Apparently the fish tank guy was actually a toe supporter. I have not heard that. That would be hilarious, but I don't think that's true. So, yeah, dogs are proof that humans can be redeemed, sure. Yeah. We domesticated dogs. I think so, but, still, dogs are cool. Yes, that's Clyde snoring, 100%. That's 100% Clyde. Jet Neptune's a fan of Steel Toe. He said it in the video. I didn't see that, but that's awesome. That's hilarious. Another win for the toe. All right, here. And then All Is Fair in Love and War for $20. Thank you for the support. Saying, just thank you, Sean, going way back to the early Latu days. things have definitely changed since the early days. Yeah, like Slim Charles says, game's the same, just got more fierce. But yeah, trust me, I remember coming into all this, and I was like, oh boy. Like, I remember covering the Theodore Edgecombe trial, and then I was like, how things went from there. Like, first time I got on with Nick, and then I did the Johnny Depp trial. I was kind of like Karen and Goodfellas at the wedding. It's just spinning around. You're running into all these people and meeting them and learning names, and then you're on a stream with Sargon at one point. Then you're on a stream with like Andy Senior, and then you're on a stream with like Peter Tragos, and then all these other people, and then at the time Robert Barnes, and then Eric Hunley, and it just goes and goes and goes, and it's like, whoa, it's like you met everybody. Their name was Peter or Paul. Barton Bella for $5 says, thanks for being objective and actually wanting to help that degenerate. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a person. That doesn't mean like, if he's not going to, I'm just not going to sit there and say like, oh, I'm here for you. You're a good boy. But yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. There will be Keno on Thursday. Okay. Lopi says, I want your dog. Well, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to pay the price. You're going to have to pay the iron price for the dog. Timmy Parasocial says, serial cat rescuers here. The story that their owner got too old is a sob story for the rescues. I know, but I don't really have anything else to go off of. I mean, when we got him, he by the time we got him home, he ended up having kennel cough, and he was real skinny. You could see his back. He was a very, very skinny dog. And it was weird because we first got him home, and he finally kind of like got used to the surroundings. Like he would go outside, and he would just sit in the yard and stare off into the distance. And we were really worried like he was gonna die. Like there was something wrong with him. We didn't know. Like the vet had checked him out. He was okay, but like he thought like he knew something was up, but he battled back, and I'm glad he's here. Kibo says American obesity will under Trump's rule. I'll work on that. I'll do my part. Nick was also on Alex Stein's show. Yes, he was at one point. So, yeah. Yes, if it wasn't for Nick, Anna Kay wouldn't be watching you while she bakes pumpkin pies. Hi, Anna, if you're out there. I will say I appreciate, you talking about how you're kind of like all the change that's going on with your own. Like you said, it's not that your ideology's changed, just the way you come to issues has changed. So, I think we can all learn from that. Hubbleson says during the Rittenhouse stuff, funny thing was I was not my first things when I came, because I started this channel in 2019. I did like 2 videos, like one about R. Kelly getting arrested and one about all the people trying to rush Area 51. They were cringe. One of the first videos I did when I came back was talking about like, because Kyle Rittenhouse was going on at the same time as the Ahmaud Arbery trial. There was like a third trial too that I was talking about, like, what do you do when it's out of the jury, when it's in the jury's hands? So I kind of like got in right at the back end of Kyle Rittenhouse, but not with the LawTube people. Does Nick lurk in Sean's chat? At times he has. Sean needs to go on the Lotus Eaters. I think that'd be fun. I like what they do. Say, excuse me. Who storms louder, Sean or Clyde in the F1's local stream? Depends. We'll try one day. We'll have a competition. Wibby says you can overdose Clyde on hemp. I have a friend who did a lot of Delta 9 and had heart problems as a result. Okay, well, we definitely won't give him that much. We only give him like 3 or 4 at a time. Usually calms him down. When there's like a thunderstorm, he gets like 6. Foley says, so Clyde came from the Rekieta house? No. Kitty Sen says, show proof, must see dog. Well, there is dog. Siobhan says the iron price. That's the Texas talk. Yeah. There's the other dog. There's Lainey. The other one, she doesn't really snore though. Chat gives super chats. Clyde needs a CPAP machine. Oh. Let's see if he's still snoring. All right, chat. Let's see what else we got here. Nick got gifted a membership like a month ago. I did not see that. I wish somebody would have told me. Why do we keep talking over the Clyde snorers? Because it can't, we got to do a little bit here. A little color commentary. Nick is saying that's widely incorrect. Hemp contains chiefly cannabidiol, but barely any. Okay, well, I just mean they're dogs, so you can fuck them up. Yes, Cadillac will be the next F1 team. I know. Gonna have some American, that's right, caddies, chat. There's gonna be some fucking Cadillacs running there. That'll be great to see those on the podium. Fucking caddies. That would be great. I would be thrilled. Kimmel says, how much does Clyde weigh? He weighs 20 pounds. And he's actually in pretty good shape, so Vet thinks he's at a good weight. Jose says, is Clyde 9 years old? No, he's 5 or 6 years old from what we've been able to tell and what the APL knows. He's like 5 or 6. And the vet agrees. He's around that age. C says a human cannot overdose on weed. What is that? I don't know because I don't really do a whole lot. I've done edibles once in a while, and it's been a while since I've done those, but don't know enough about the weeds to know. Garrett Pace says the bondage master guy in Florida was my favorite trial. The funny thing was that wasn't even the trial because the guy pled guilty and it was all about wanting the death penalty. But yes, that was a hilarious one. Does Nick still have his dog? I don't know. I hope so. I have to make the Clyde cam transformative. Well, that is the content, him sleeping. People sleep on Twitch. There's sleep streamers. So. Caddy has the biggest F1 junk in the trunk. Yeah, that'll be great. Is this a Rob Saul stream? Oh, no. I don't want Chad so much to think this is a Rob Saul stream. If GM didn't suck balls, would have Pontiac in F1. Considering that was it was becoming their performance branch pre-08. God, that would have been so having Pontiac winning Formula One races. The Constructors' Championship. Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, Sauber, Williams, Pontiac. That would be really fucking awkward. I'm just saying that'd be really kind of funny. Oh. Yes, Garrett Pace, yes, going from the bondage master trial. I'm going back a ways. We cover this. They talked about the guy they killed, and while they were raping him, they said that they were titty fucking his butt cheeks before they raped him. Oh, Jerry says Andy Worski used to sleep on live streams. Well, I've done that once or twice myself. Oh. They put the Firebird logo on the Pontiac. Put the Trans Am Firebird. That'd be great. They could do smoking it. Well, they could do the smoking the bandit livery, but then there'd be I bet Lotus would get mad, say no, that kind of looks like our livery. But that'd be hilarious. Yeah, that would have been great. Yes, the Saturn F1 team. None any worse than Renault. Well, yeah, Renault's got a more storied history than Pontiac, so. The Area 51 video is not cringe. Oh, well, thank you. Midnight in Exile says, wait, what the fuck did I just hear? I don't know. It might send you, I'm sending you an email, it might go to your anti-agent spam filter. Okay, I'll take a look for it. Will I stream a Santa Claus later this year? No. Have you set your nipples on fire in a live stream? No, I will never do that. My nipples are very sensitive. Keith Cutter says, I've owned 3 fire chickens. Yeah. And I will say, I remember, I think I've told the story before in chat. We'll probably end off this here. Back when I was married, her Mrs. Martin 1.0 had a friend who lived in Davenport. And this is like probably 15 years ago now. So it's a lot more svelte back then, believe it or not. And she and her friend, they went to go do something, and her husband had to go work. So I was kind of like wandering around Davenport, and I was walking around, and I came across the Pontiac Fiero Collectors Association of North America. They were having their meetup, and it was literally this massive like meetup of Pontiac Fieros, which I didn't realize was a thing, but they were all there. It's actually kind of interesting with the fire chickens. But yeah, I mean, they're not fire chickens, but just Pontiacs in general. Would you clamp your nipples for sexual gratification? Not commenting. Potentially next trial you're covering. I don't know. There are some. I don't know what's going to be coming up in December, because remember, December's kind of tough for trials because, like, it's tough in court because if it goes too long, you run into Christmas, and it's just a big, like, between Thanksgiving and Christmas sucks in court in general. We might have I have some canned trials, like trials that have happened already that I know you guys don't know anything about that we're probably going to watch. Like, one of them's a police officer in Connecticut who shot a guy and he goes on trial. It's a really good one. There's a bunch of stuff out there we'll take a look at. Nick Gore says, how often does the I was just pretending to commit crimes on camera for the lulz defense work? Never. It never fucking works. I was just joking. December is a good one in South Carolina. All right, I'll talk to you, Hella. Yes, the rest of the RICO trial starts December 3rd. Yes, well, that's the jury deliberating because they've already done the closing arguments. It's that part's done for like Shannon Stillwell and Yak Gotti. There is a judge who tried a couple of these YSL guys previously. Judge McBurney. He's got his own YouTube channel where he does a lot of the stuff down in Atlanta. I'm gonna grab those off of his, and we might watch one of those coming up. Please play the Melody Ferris trial. Which one is her? I don't know which one she is, but we can work on that this month. Shinohara says, remember the prankster that got shot and the shooter actually got self-defense? Yeah, that's how it was a prank bro defense works. Yeah. Well, it didn't help that guy was a dickhead. So, Foley says, make your next model the VOT F4U Corsair. Nope. We are gonna finish the Dauntless, and that's been blacked up enough. We'll get that going soon. Getting some color on it. No, the next thing we have to get into is the 135th scale Abrams. That's because my parents got it for me last Christmas, and we need to put that one together. So that will be something we're doing. Sarah Boone Sensing is December 2nd. Oh, so that's next Monday. Hodor is saying, I said RICO's never the answer. RICO's never the answer in a civil case. Because that's like you see crazy people filing RICO charges. Even in Monty's case against Nick, there's like allegations of RICO. In a civil case, it's a really fucking dumb thing to argue. In criminal cases, RICO is like an actual thing you can do. You can do a RICO under federal law. You could do a RICO under Ohio law. As Trump is finding out, apparently 2 people committing a crime means RICO in Georgia. I'm talking about in the civil context. Yes, Johnny Somali has fucked himself royally. So The Stacy M1 Abrams. No, but I'm gonna paint it. The M1 Abrams, once we do it, it should go together pretty quick because I've looked at it. We're gonna paint it up 1980 style. We're gonna do like some hardcore like 1985, like heat of the Cold War paint job on it. It should look pretty cool. Jose says, "What's on the right side of the Baldo plate?" Oh, hold on here. Let's see what you're talking about. Let me go take a look. Oh, I see what you're looking at. Sorry. There you go. Maybe that'll help you now. Here we go. Moved everything out of the way. It's just a Baldo. It's just a very like lightly done Baldo. And if you guys notice, it's the Land of 10,000 Lines on there. Let's see. Rico destroyed the American Mafia. Yes, because they couldn't convict them, so they made a new law. 3D print a Baldo. Yes. SH says, my cat heard Clyde snoring and woke up angry. There was another animal around. Oh. Yes, a name of some sort says, and he waddled away, waddle, 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 till the very next day. Bump, 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 ba-dum. Well, that duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bump, bump, bump. Got any grapes?" Adam A says, "Can a government revoke a citizen's citizenship?" So the first answer is if you are a naturalized citizen, so you come to America and then you gain citizenship, yes, they can strip it from you. It's tough. It's easier if you're not naturalized yet. So if you're a permanent resident with a green card, it's easy to get kicked out. If you are here on a visa, it's easy to get kicked out. If you are a natural born citizen, there are times you can lose your citizenship. They are very difficult, though. One of the more something a lot of these Ukrainian ball lickers might have to worry about is the State Department can determine if you serve as a non-commissioned officer or as a commissioned officer in a foreign military. You could, if they want to, under certain parts of the Immigration and Naturalization Act, be stripped of your citizenship. I believe there's a whole due process issue there, and I don't believe it's really been done. But it all depends on if you're serving like in a military that's not copacetic to U.S. interests. That's the big issue. But there are ways you can lose it. Obviously, you can relinquish your citizenship. You have to go to like an embassy and formally denounce it. But there are ways you can lose it even if you're natural born. It's just not a very easy path. And it'd be very hard for it. You have to work at it to make it happen. More or less is the answer, I guess. At the Baldo F1 team. Yes. Jose is saying, am I going to do 3-color NATO? Am I going to do an MERDC? Or I think I'm going to do the MERDC. I mean, the only other thing I was thinking is I started to do this, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to. But I think it'll work better on a massive model like this. Is European 1. And that is a pretty neat paint job. You guys have never seen it before. It was a Cold War paint job that we don't have anymore, but it's this. This is European 1. I was thinking about this. It's, like I said, it's a Cold War thing here. Let me see if I can find some other pictures of it. I hate to use a Reddit picture, but we're going to have to. Let's see what else is there. I mean, there's whole pictures of them. There's all kinds of there's a really cool picture of a C5 Galaxy with it on, and it's pretty gnarly. This is pretty cool stuff. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here is a. Here we go. This is a pretty good example of it. This is from obviously back in the Cold War. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty neat. Here's another picture of it on an A7 Corsair. Like, I think it just looks pretty neat. Obviously, they didn't put this on ground vehicles, but I also might do that alternative because, believe it or not, Chad, it just wasn't. They had a lot of. There were different color patterns for U.S. military vehicles. So there were some NATOs with like the sand brown mixture in the colors. There was a lot of stuff out there. So, yeah, it's not good if you're fighting for Israel. And yes, unless you fight for Israel, yes, then you can come back and do all kinds of stuff. You can join Congress. Is Joe still going forward in his First Amendment case? I think he kind of ran out of, like, he tried to go to Judge Sotomayor and she kind of didn't do anything with it. So I think he's kind of toast right now. I don't know, though. I think he's still going to try. Did I see Ursula Haverback passed away? No, I did not. Didn't hear. Hodor says, I like the evil ME-262. Looks like a shark. Yeah. The F-111 covered in European one's pretty gnarly. Yeah. Like I said, it's a neat color. Looks like BDU's kind of the 80s U.S. military, like the late 80s U.S. military, is a fucking cool aesthetic. You know, like the footage of like Bradley's driving around West Germany, like the whole thing looks cool. Or you read about like the Berlin Brigade the ODA that was in Berlin that was solely meant to be a stay behind unit. Like those guys were cool. Or if you read about the U.S. military mission to the guys who were running around in East Germany, or the British guys doing it in East Germany that were surveilling the Russian army. There's so many cool fucking stories about it. That whole thing is like, it's a cool time. And it's like, born too late for all that cool shit. Yes, the striking camo is the urban camo with brick red on it. It was used by the Brits in West Germany. Yeah, there were a lot of cool camo patterns during the Cold War. I've seen that one. Let's see here. The BTKs, the Baldos 3-ways ketamine. The Berlin Brigade was tight, yeah. How about the dual text camo? By the way, European one with tan is simply called Southeast Asia. Oh, I didn't realize that was all it was the addition there, but the dual text, I might know what that is, but the have I seen dual text before? Oh yes, I've seen this. Yes, dual text is pretty cool. Yes, that would be I don't know if this is a picture obviously of a M60 in dual text. I have seen this before. Maybe we'll try this. I don't know how well it would work on an M1. But we could try it. We could try that. That's not a bad choice. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. Oh, Muttering Jay says, what do you think would have happened if Area 51 had been stormed? Do you think they would have shot those people? I don't think they would have shot all those people, but they probably would have shot some of them. I think if you were out front, you might have got shot. I mean, here's the thing. Do you really want to find out? You know, I think somebody would have gotten shot. Maybe not. They wouldn't have tried to shoot fatally. But I can see them trying, like, shooting to wound. Like, that would have been a whole nother problem, too, though. I think it would have been a very bad idea. Very, very bad idea. What do you think of the Army's multicam? I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, it works. Multicam was a lot better in ACU. But for some reason, because probably some general wanted a kickback, and a consultant job. They went with ACU instead, which was garbage. Let's see here. 10K visas, who shoots the wound? People who can get away with it, or stupid people. Justice Smith says Senator Mastron, you know this. I understand that. But I could see somebody at Area 51, like they're going to maliciously wound a person instead of killing them. It is the government after all. But yes, somebody would have gotten shot. Not everybody, but one person would have. They definitely would have done it. And CyberRat says, I hated wearing ACUs as a shit uniform. Yeah. Nobody really liked ACUs from what I understand. And I could say when I did like ROTC in college, like I said, I was a lot skinnier in college. Very skinny. I was in good shape. We had BDUs, so we didn't have ACUs, so we didn't have to worry about any of that shit. So they were nice. They were nice. Do it in Mossy Oak. That would be hilarious. You realize how big Mossy Oak would be, the pattern would be on a tank? That would be so funny, though. The ACU is perfect for lunar battles. Yes, it would be. Another good one is the A10 Jaws camo. I have seen that. That is pretty cool. Amo says, I was in during shift to the Marpat. Marpat. Yes. Garfield says, I must have done a lot of stress eating as a lawyer. No, not really stress eating. Just, not really paying attention and getting lazy. That's me. Like, that's the thing there more than anything. Midnight Exile is in the military. No. ROTC is a class you can take. It's not, you are not in the military just because you're in ROTC. You could take it as like a freshman and there's no military obligation. It was a lot of fun. You got to learn how to do land nav and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. But no, not in the military, not even remotely in the military. Not even close. So, no. I want to make sure that's made clear, abundantly clear. I did one semester. It was a lot of fun. One semester. Fix your cabinet doors. My cabinet doors are fixed. My sink doesn't flood. CyberRat says, I hit 20 years in the Army last month. Congrats. Congratulations. You made it. Did you ever get into the lawyer alcoholism spiral? No. Nope, not at all. Nope. Stolen Valor. Yeah. It's my new nickname now, yes. I'm dodging the Stolen Valor accusations, yeah. Kyle Cowden says, I used to seriously fuck with ROTCs when they stuck me with one. Yeah, I've heard about that. And I had friends who, like, they got through their whole time in college and they end up, going to do stuff for only one summer. So. Yeah, good night, Sarah. You guys take care if you're heading out for the night. Also, the good thing, Cyber Rat, you can retire under Trump. There you go. He can sign. His name will be on your documents. Speak Live says, if I start law school, what's your best advice for me? Don't. Make sure someone else is paying for it, or you can do it affordably. That's my advice. The other thing, real advice is everybody there is smart enough. You're probably not the smartest person there. Assume you're one of the dumber people in your class and bust your ass studying, because everybody there is pretty smart and they're smart enough. Stolen Valor, more like stolen lunch sandwiches. Yeah. I am likely practically straight edge. Oh, far from it. Jose says, "Do you know Greece and South Korea still use MERDC?" No, I did not know that. I did not know they do that. So that's interesting. Oh, I mean, although that's the basic standardization, like, are you talking like, I mean, technically that's just, the equipment and research commands, like paint colors, and you have the federal schedule of paint codes. So, I mean, like, are you talking about like if you're talking about this, I get what you're saying. If you're talking about something like this, and if you guys didn't know what, hold on here, I'm trying to bring up a thing for this so you guys can understand what we're getting at. These were, let me see if this will convert to a good picture. Yeah. Here you go, chat. These are some, this is what he's talking about. There were some interesting paint jobs that were on military vehicles back in the Cold War. So it wasn't just one thing. And here's another example. This is another example of like the M1 tank. So what I'd be doing is more of kind of like a tropics variant. Although mine wouldn't have the black, it would have the gray, but like you can have like a desert gray, you can have a winter Arctic. Here's a red desert. Like there was a lot of variation on combat vehicles in the US military. Like they were still figuring out what was good. High Plains Drifter says he's gonna send Don Shipley after me. Oh no, I don't need I love watching his shit. Those are hilarious, listening to those driving around. Yes, Don Shipley, for Buds 131. But yeah, don't send him after me. He'll kick my ass. Blueberry said, "Do YouTube nick my super chat?" I don't know here. Let me see. I don't see a super chat from you. I don't see it. Jose Rodriguez says South Korea is literally T-80s and MERDC camo. They got as repayment from the US. What? Okay, hold on here. South Korea T-80s. I want to see. I know they had T-80s, but I want to see the color. No shit. Wow, that's cool. That's pretty neat. Okay, that is neat. I didn't know they painted them up like that. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I learned something today, chat. That is a South Korean T-80 tank in MERDC camo. Look at that. That's pretty fucking neat. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Thanks for that, Jose. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, if you're people asking to like go to law school, I'm like, go learn to weld. I would recommend that over this. Tired retro gamer says just don't is my advice. Yeah, I mean, like if you really, 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 really want to do it and get all the debt for it, then fine. Or if you've got a job lined up, okay, fine. But I mean, otherwise, there's ways to do it. Oh, you just have a bad back, neck, and shoulder. You're 6 months post-op shoulder reconstruction. You're dropping your retirement now. You should be out in January, February 2026 at 21 years. Well, congrats, man. Congrats. Congrats on getting out in one piece. I mean, hell, that's 21 years, man. You've got through the entire GWAT in one piece. So congrats. And you get out before you have to go fight for Israel. So, good things all around. How about legal writing and AI? Legal writing and AI is, I mean, at some point, I guess people do use it, but you run a big risk because it's still like your butt on the line. Especially like that one case where the AI had a fever dream and made up court cases. Like it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. Like you can't do it. And until AI can be completely like made sure it won't do that, you can't trust it. You cannot trust it. So law is going to be one of the areas AI will not fully be able to ever really take over. Thank you, Lioness. I appreciate that. Still think Jersey Mike's was an S tier. That's to quote The Rock. It doesn't matter what you think. It is not S tier. And yeah, Brewberries, I don't see a super chat from you, so I don't know what happened there. I'm confirmed for Nick's Connect. Yeah. Kia Patrick says like a bootleg Choco chip pattern. Yes, but it predates that, so that's the cool part. I should do a USS Liberty model. At one point I will, because I'll try to I want to do battle damage. That's like the next step after making things. Mr. Rubio says, just got here. What the hell happened with Nick? A lot of that's like saying what happened to this timeline. I'm like, you got to go all the way back to Harambe, and then you can catch up. But that's where you have to start. The Wasatch Jackalope is saying, thanks for streaming. You're welcome. All right, guys, we got to land the plane. Did Nick plea? No, he did not plea today. They go back December 17th to figure out if they're going to plea or not. And Legal Mindset, how you doing? Andrew says it's snowing as fuck here in Seoul today. Do we get any bottle updates? There's been no plea agreement reached, and Kayla's suppression motion's a dumpster fire. And speaking of that, Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset.
Legal mindset. Legal mindset. Legal dick suckers, more like it.
Yes, for 10,000 wands, more wands than are in Puerto Rico. I'm pretty sure there's more than. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I don't know. Maybe the census. Maybe that's in the census. Maybe I'll have to check that at some point. It says for some of that good sheetrock dust. Oh yeah, nothing like the Bolivian sheetrock dust, or you get some of that Colombian drywall compound. You get the good. You get the good. And Jose says, look at the Greek Leo 2s. They're in a really. That's kind of trippy. Okay, that's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. Here we go. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, chat. Here we go. Yeah. An orange instead of tan. That looks pretty neat. That's pretty cool. I like the orange. I like the orange on that burnt bronze or burnt copper. I kind of like that. I dig that. I can dig that. Although that's on a chally. That's for. Sorry. But yes, that's on a Challenger too. But I'm looking for the Leos right now. Hold on. Let me see here. The Hellenic Army Leos. Let me see. They got the 284s. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a good picture. This looks pretty neat. Yeah, I got hit. Yes. The Ukrainians got after me. Oh yeah, here we go. That's pretty neat looking. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Although we found out the Leopard 2 is kind of a shitty tank. I mean, thank you, Ukraine, for showing us that. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that color. Maybe I could do the tank of that. I could do the M1 in that. Interesting enough. Jeff says, I'm into guitars. This military stuff is gay. I am not a guitar guy, so I apologize. You sent what you just said in the super chat. You sent our mindset super chat. Okay, hold on. Yes, it's tax-free, bish. You said something after mindset. I now got to find out where mindset thing is. Okay, well, I can't see it because I just restarted, so the stream, I came back, so. Oh, crap, where am I? Where am I? Yeah, I don't see it, Brewberry. Sorry. Just retype it again. I'll see it. Jose's like, I've wasted $50 to super chats of vehicle camo autism. Yes, that's a good autism. That's a good autism. Cyberrat says, we had a dude roll in the base at full face at head camo and robbed a bank right by an exit entrance. As far as I know, he's never caught. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. That's definitely one way to do it. Odin says, Sean likes tanks. You could fit in those. No, I probably couldn't right now. Oh. Did I get fail-safed? Yeah. I understood that reference. No, because you don't hear that on the line. Did I see the issues in the Baker versus City of McKinney on the cert denial? Yeah, that's what the Fifth Amendment takings case. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was bullshit. The SWAT team tore that lady's house up, but yeah, it looks like Gorsuch and Sotomayor wanted to hear it, but the rest of the court did not, sadly. But I think that, those two putting that out there are starting to hopefully putting courts on notice that, you can't just let the police run roughshod. And Brewberry says, I'll say it again. I think it nuked me because I said choked. Connor's accuser claimed he said now she knew how it felt when he got choked out. I find it hard to believe he brought up his own losses. Yeah, he's like, this is what some Russian did to me. He's like, this is what Khabib did. Will Montegraph get his $300 tomorrow? I don't know. Copied Kitty says, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for showing off the fur babies. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I don't want to, you guys got to see Clyde tonight, but he's sleeping, so I don't want to wake him up. Bella says, is Florida going to charge that doctor I told you about? I don't know, but it sounds like you sent me that stuff. That's pretty interesting. Unless you're saying they are going to charge them, or are you asking me if they will? I'm like, I don't know if they will or not. So, Chandler was going to beat out Connor pussed out, yeah. Fun fact, the Challenger was really spec'd out by Iran. Yes, it was. In fact, the Iranian specifications were better than the UK ones because the UK was too broke. Yes, but even then, the Challenger 2 is fucking awful because they store ammo all over the fucking place. It's a shitty tank. It is a shitty tank compared to the Leopard and the Abrams. So, yeah, by a long shot. And I don't care how much Laserpig says it's not. So, all right, chat, we're going to land the airplane. And we are, Dr. Tess got 180 years for poisoning IV bags. Send me that fucking link. I want to look at that. That sounds pretty that's fucking gnarly. So, yes, 2-stage ammo in current year. Yes, exactly my thought. Although the Russians basically run 2-piece ammo. But that's because that's what they run on the carousels. For an autoloader, you have to kind of. Right into a tower? No, we're going to right into the World Trade Center, chat. Right into the Pentagon. We're going to show the globalists what's up. When's your next stream? We'll be doing it tomorrow night. Trying to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. It'll probably be tomorrow. We might do 2 shows tomorrow night because getting ready for Thanksgiving. Tomorrow night's the busiest bar night of the year. We'll see. But it'll probably be around 7 o'clock, one of them, and they'll probably do one a little later. That'll be the game plan. So. Show Alyssa's last clip. It's 2 minutes long. All right. I don't know what it is, but we'll look for it. Oh my God. I don't know if I want to know what the last clip she did is. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here we go, chat. We'll do this. All right.
If you are done.
Mr. Diamond, do you think Bert has a baldo?
A what? A baldo. What does that mean? So Nick Rekieta had this saying, it was a baldo that he would use on his wife in April Amolte, where sometimes he had an issue, allegedly, according to April, with getting it up. And so sometimes they didn't have Viagra, so it was like an attachment that hooked on your testicles that was like a sex toy. It's called a baldo.
I don't
like
have
a dildo, but for your balls.
I don't have any type of device where
You never used a baldo?
No, I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm sorry,
And he has an African American friend.
Oh, dear Lord, what is it?
Take three.
Okay, 3. Okay. Thank you. And
One pink one for Kelly. You don't have to give it to the baby, just in honor of Kelly. Okay.
fine.
Just for good vibes.
Okay.
So this Nick guy, he used to have like this sex toy device, and his friend Dex is the one that gave it to him. And Dex is an African American man as well that allegedly also swapped and did the same thing you did. Like you know how married couples like for you to blast their wife.
Yes.
Nick, his friend, allegedly. Dex, large African American, he would like it when he would blast his wife, Kayla, allegedly.
Okay.
You would like Nick. I think you'd get along with Nick. I'm not just saying that.
Okay, is this
He's
like
very famous.
cool? Is this like a cautionary tale or something?
Another win for the toe. JJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJ
He's a Minnesota Vikings fan. He lives in Spicer, Minnesota. And since he's Steel Toe Morning Show, oftentimes he gets his viewers to help him.
Mr. Diamond, do you think Bert loves glory holes as much as Mr. Darius does?
Yeah, have you ever been to a glory hole?
Well, there a couple times, but it's not really my thing. Kind of like to see the person's face.
Ah! Wait. That's so fucking funny. Oh my god. That's a shame since I'm dying. I know, I'm dying too. Yes, another win for the toe. CyberRat says, where did this come from? So Sam Hyde has what's called Fish Tank, and that's his if you go to fishtank.com/live or Fish Tank Live, it's his own reality show where people are stuck in a house. And people could do the TTS where they, send in their super chats, but it gets read out loud so they can hear it. So yes, JJ. Oh. Yes. Win for the toe. Oh shit, he's been to a glory hole. Yeah, that part was interesting too. I didn't think he would say that. Oh. Yes, 1,000,000% accurate retelling. Yes. This has been fact-checked by true American patriots. And it's confirmed. Drex catching strays. Yeah, I think Drex understands. Yeah, Fish Tank is the raw version of Big Brother. Yes. Yes, I do watch Fish Tank. I haven't really watched a whole lot of this season. I understand this season, they're kind of making them think this is a legit TV show. But Fish Tank's fucking hilarious, man. How can you not watch it? So, yeah. But yes, I do watch Fish Tank. It's great. Yes, Nick is getting known far and wide. You'd be surprised how many people know about Nick. So, Baldo is opening up the TYT to the right. Yes. Bart Bella says Fish Tank. Yes. Yes, Fish Tank. So, all right, chat. That is it for tonight. We are all caught up. It's already 12:30. Do you plan on getting any more Baldo plates made as merch? I did not commission that work. Actually, somebody reached out to me on the farms. They reached out to me on my actual potentially criminal account, and I'll talk to him because if you guys really want him, he might make it so you guys could buy them. I don't know if he can or not, but yes, he floated me a bunch of ideas, a bunch of like plates to do, and I told him a couple that I wanted. So yes. Fish tanks looks like a collection of autists locked in a house. Yes, but Sam Hyde is over there fucking with them. Frank Castle shows up. Alex Stein shows up. All kinds of funny shit goes on in there. It's great. It's great. Yes. The world-renowned fish tank. Yes. You're too busy watching side scrollers and geeks and gamers. Well, yeah, but it's good. But yes, it's a hilarious thing. You get to help fuck with the contestants. But yes, I don't know. I'll have to talk to the guy and see if he's willing to do it on a large scale. I don't know if he wants to or not, but he reached out to me. It's just pretty fucking funny. So, but don't you worry, chat. There are more plates. I promise you, there are more plates. What channel is Fish Tank on? Fish Tank is not on a channel. It's and then there's like a fishtank.live you can go to. But there's you got to go to fishtank.live, but I know there's like a bootleg Fish Tank, or there's like a site you can watch it from another way where you don't have to worry about the season pass. I forget what it's called. Somebody out there might know. But yeah, Bella, it's not here on YouTube. It's fishtank.live. Baldo's trademarked, yeah, but the company went bankrupt and it's owned by the British government now, so it's in receivership. It's on YouTube too, but it's not live on YouTube, I don't think. I'm probably sending the plates to my top lieutenants, yeah. Let's see here. The Fish Tank channel. The channel's literally Fish Tank, yeah, but it's not as good as like watching live. You get the better access. Baldo went bankrupt. Yeah, the company went down, yeah. Sometimes it's live on YouTube, but not all the time. So, but yeah, I'll talk to the guy about it. Apparently you guys really want one, so I'll see if I'll make them. So, all right, guys, with that said, have a great night, everybody. And remember, until, like I said, we'll be doing shows tomorrow night. And then remember, chat, we every Thursday, we will be doing the live show 9:30. We'll see you there, commemorating Pilgrim D-Day, the beginning of the conquest of North America. And Bart Bella gifted 5 subs. 5 subs. Thank you, Bella. Are we doing locals? No, it's too fucking late now. No, it's too late. So good night, everybody. Guys, yeah, we are going to work through the YSL closing arguments. Here's the thing. The prosecution had like 5 hours to make their closing argument, and then each defense attorney had 2 hours. It's like a fucking full thing. It was a full day of shit. So we are going to probably we're going to chip our way through it. There's a lot there, though, so we'll work on that. But yes, we are not CL at Stonies, yeah. Oh, of course, can't blame me for asking. Of course, I understand. I'm just like, I'm tired. I got stuff to do tomorrow. There's still court tomorrow, chat. There's court and other things I have to do tomorrow. So, no, we're not going all night. Not going all night, chat. We'll save that for the rest of the weekend here. So, take care, everybody. Remember, until next time, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Although, yeah, Kayla, you're fucked. I don't know what to tell you. You're fucked. You ain't getting out of this one. So, definitely looking at taking the plea. I don't think it's going to get any better for you pushing all this, but give it the college try, but then be prepared to take the plea. Anyways, good night, chat. Take care.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes. Esoteric works and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws. Tips on hunting and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops. Even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney.